Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ringside Riot. And on a before I introduce everybody tonight, I want to give a shout out to Josh, who is in a hospital with pneumonia.
Yes.
Get better, brother.
Please
We miss you.
have him in your thoughts, please. In
Yes,
your
yes,
thoughts,
yes.
please.
Get better, brother. We miss you. We
I
love
need
you,
someone to
man.
fucking get me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we need Josh back to fly the squirrel, but yeah, he's hospitalized with pneumonia. We are one man short for the regular team, and we wish him the best and hope he can recover as soon as possible.
yep. Get better, brother. And as usual, I'm Mike. That's Jordan over here, this side.
Oh,
And
that.
below us is Sleepy Phil. I mean, Spicy Phil. I had to wake him up to bring him on the channel, bring him on the chat tonight. So we're here.
I'm glad he's here at all because without Josh, we need all hands on deck.
Yep. And guess what, everybody? We're
It's
cursed now.
DEFCON 1 when it comes to Ringside Rants.
And we're
And
cursed.
also, let's see. Our main news is Danhausen cursed the United Center in Chicago, and a lot of the the WWE fans were like, "Who?" They got cursed.
Danhausen curses everybody. Danhausen has listed the Manhausens after he says he debuted at thunderous applause.
Yep, there are mixed results on Danhausen's debut. We could talk about it a good bit right here, but we'll get into it. But
He wants a blimp. He wants a Hall of Fame induction, a personal assistant, and a Triple H pointing picture.
did y'all read his entire first WWE tweet post of all of his love that Danhausen. He put out a big old thing about his debut. It was pretty good. I almost sent it to y'all.
And on other notes, on Thursday, March 26th, 1FW presents The Devil Returns to Georgia, and it's featured none other than the AEW World Champion MJF.
I don't like that. Devil Returns to Georgia. I like that.
Oh, I see Country is in the chats. We must ask him right away. I know he's gonna love it. How did you enjoy the debut of Danhausen coming out the box, stealing the show at the WWE pay-per-view? Country, how did you enjoy his magnificent physique? Which we all know Country is very much not into the vanilla midgets, but that's why we're asking him.
So the only other news we have other than Danhausen is Brody Lee got bopped on his head by Joey Janela.
Oh,
We have
yeah.
more news than that. We have more news than that.
He took his
Not
first
really.
bump in a ring. I like that.
12-year-old. Well, I said 14, didn't I? I said he's 14.
Uh-huh.
14-year-old Brody Lee Jr. gets bopped on his head by Joey Janela. That's pretty crazy. That kid's growing up right in front of our eyes, man.
Evil Uno was not there, or John Silver.
None of them were there because they're at Mystery Wrestling. Speaking of Mystery Wrestling, did you see who they're bringing in? They're bringing in the WWE ID champion.
Which is who?
Cappuccino Jones.
Talk about a who.
Yeah, talk about a who. I actually missed it. I had my brother's fiance's family here, but I actually don't hate Danhausen.
He's
Nice.
I gotta figure you out. He's more of a comedy act than a physical act.
He is, man. I mean, Danhausen is very
He's
good.
being Conan O'Brien if he was possessed by Pazuzu.
We need to seriously get Phil some things to fill out that room because that echo is killing us.
Man, that could be bad, Phil.
It's still a work in progress, guys.
Well, we need you to put some boxes in there or something because that echo is hard to understand you.
Because you're here, and here, and we hear you say things, and we're like, what? Who? Why?
Is this
Where? And then we fly things.
We fly a lot of things.
These birds.
Y'all want to get into the real statistics of what happened with
I have a
Fox and
microphone.
Danhausen in the reveal? let's get into really why people feel the way they do about it and what really transpired here. So first of all, to go behind the scenes, backstage WWE is 50-50.
Country, I do have a microphone. It's right here.
Yeah,
They
but
are backstage WWE is 50-50 on Danhausen. Half of the team did not want to bring him in, and the other half did. So first of all, you have some disagreement. That's never good when you have a debuting wrestler, because that could mess up your creative plans to bring them in, how you do it, and then whether someone sinks or floats first time you reveal them, which is already what the naysayers are using against Danhausen, comparing it to the gobbledygook.
The
hold on.
naysayers are naysayer. It was probably Bruce Prichard's the one that hated Danhausen because it's not one of his creations.
I could see him being the one that agreed to bring Danhausen in, but anyway.
But listen here. Listen, before going any further, man. Danhausen is the man in the box.
Yeah, well, we know the whole world knows that.
He's the man in the box.
Well, he's out. Technically, he's not. He's out the box now. He was the man formerly in the box, so he's out of the box. But first, all right, besides that backstage fact that it's 50-50 and the naysayers are already using this to say it didn't work, why did we need a box on both Raw and SmackDown in the middle of WrestleMania build? Why did we need all of and a reveal at Elimination Chamber? I feel like that's the problem with the whole thing, because the WrestleMania build has been probably the worst in history so far. People are very disappointed. You actually had people thinking, because this box was going to be like, there were people thinking it was Vince. There were people thinking it was Undertaker to do another Hall. There were people thinking it was to do with the video game, and of course Jericho. And we know none of that was going to happen. We know. But there was actually comments of people thinking, really believing that this box was going to have an impact
People
on me.
over push their expectations on shit.
Well, to be fair there, if
To be
you bring
fair.
out a box on television and you have it on both your channels with your general managers, the problem is it was led to believe it was going to be something bigger. This is on creative and who planned this, because this is all on them. You did. I told Mike how I would have debuted Danhausen. It would have been way simpler. And you know what? It would have worked, and you wouldn't have had time for the cheers or boos. But Danhausen did not need an entire segment of dancing and lights and all of that without saying a word at a pay-per-view. That was a big mistake.
I hate to say it, but AEW did a better one when they introduced Danhausen. What happened was Adam Cole pulled him out of the ring, and he ended up cursing Adam Cole.
All right, well that's all in the past. We're talking about now.
I'm just saying that was a simple one. I think it was a lot better. I think it was more simplistic. Didn't need all the dancing, but I liked the dancing. Didn't bother me one bit. I was entertained.
All they needed to do was bring Danhausen out backstage at either Raw or SmackDown in a segment with one of the general managers and do his shtick and walk away. That's all they needed to do, and have him curse somebody. It's all they had to do. They didn't need to be the box or any of that stupidity.
Well, as Country is saying, we need a Danhausen / R-Truth mid-card feud.
Oh, I called that immediately. I said as soon as this stick gets a little old, the first person you put in with R-Truth to have comedy gold. First thing as soon as his stick gets old, that's the first thing you're gonna do. Or if they can't get him over, you put him with Truth.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's a given. That's an absolute
Mr. Iguana.
Oh, me and Mike talked about that. The minute you put him against Mr. Iguana, the people are gonna go nuts. He's gonna curse the lizard, especially at AAA. They're gonna go ape shit.
Yeah,
dude, here's another one. Just imagine him having segments with Judgment Day.
He already has.
Oh, yes?
Yeah, tonight. He cursed Dominic Mysterio before his big match.
Classic. I was surprised he had a meeting with the demon version of Finn Balor. That would have been hilarious too.
And Danhausen curses little Jimmy with R-Truth.
Nice.
That'd be great.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gonna be cool. But back to the subject. The whole problem is the way it was done, and me and my we were trying to guess and figure out who did what. I feel like the box was completely Bruce Pritchard, and I do agree with whoever said the dancing was probably Michael Hayes with the girls. That's probably who did, possibly a Road Dog. I think maybe because that is Road Dog, Shake, Rattle, and Roll and all. But those are
Well,
the guys in creative. Those are three of the main guys.
I believe it was Michael. I believe it was Michael PSAs and
Oh, remember? Oh, Mr. Backstreet USA.
Yeah, well, I mean that's your creative over there. I mean the box just screams recycled old ideas, which screams Bruce Pritchard to me.
and I still want to hear Cornette's opinion on this
Well,
debacle.
that's going to be interesting because Cornette always said anybody comes out of a box they're made, they're over. So that's going to be interesting. Now, I have a feeling Cornette's going to say what I said. It's not the box that let Danhausen down; it was the presentation and how they released him that let him down, which is the point of what I'm talking about here. I have a
Mhm.
feeling that's what Cornette's going to say. It's the way they debuted him, and there's also talk of people that were there live are saying the fans didn't boo Danhausen because it was Danhausen. They booed when they realized it was going to be a dance segment and he wasn't going to talk and he was going to be gone. That was all they were getting. They wanted to hear him say something.
Mhm.
So it's all over the place right now. We're gonna have to wait and see. Did anyone watch tonight to see how he was perceived on Raw tonight?
One of the dancers was his wife. Metal Trooper 75 said that.
Yeah, she's in the picture where the one I told you about Danzig's comments. He's got her in his arm talking. Yeah, his wife was one of them.
Man,
How you feeling, Josh? How you feeling, buddy?
what's up, Josh?
Josh might have watched it while he's in the hospital. Maybe he could tell us. We're trying to find out how was Danhausen received tonight on Raw from the live viewing audience.
Oh,
Because
he can't watch that in the damn hospital. It's on Netflix.
oh well, my bad. For years, for about 30 years or 25 years, we could watch Raw and Nitro in the hospital. My bad.
It was the damn hospital's got streaming services now that I don't know about. I need to get to the hospital.
But a lot of how we wouldn't be surprised. A lot of hospitals have Wi-Fi, especially for their guests.
I laughed
Yeah.
my ass off when I was driving through NOLA, getting my popcorn, leaving the other day, and they had a hotel
He
like
has
a
the
like a
moment
Hilton. They had
record.
like a Hilton, and it had cable TV and all that on the side. I'm like, bro, it's 2026. Y'all on about cable TV and air conditioned rooms and big fridge. I'm like, where's the free Wi-Fi and streaming? It's 2026. Cable TV. The fuck y'all talking about here?
What's up, Anthony?
Cable TV.
Did he realize Caleb Williams is quarterback?
Country, unfortunately, Josh came down with pneumonia and is hospitalized.
Yeah. What's up, Ant? Did he realize Caleb Williams is quarterback? Wow, bro. You went hard on him, man. You went hard. He he cursed Dominic and he lost the IC title to Penta. That's great.
It was.
I like it. I like it.
It makes sense. Now,
I bet Dominic is pissed now.
well, Dominic's gonna go find Danhausen and get uncursed.
Yeah, how you like that? Josh is in the hospital, but he saw the show. Look at him.
Uh-huh. Wow.
He made a lot of people's careers serious. I mean, it's because of him. It got Colton and Austin Gunn famous.
Josh
Back
is
when they were
getting the
known as
BBL.
the Ass Boys.
God Almighty, Josh is getting the BBL. And for anybody that don't know, that's a Brazilian butt lift.
Oh boy. Let me see. I can't read what he said yet, but he asked me something.
Yeah, here, I'll put it up on the thing. Here you go.
It's gonna cut. All right, here it is. My friend's moving to Baton Rouge and Lafayette for work. Where do you recommend him move to? What are the best neighborhoods in that area? I hate to tell you this, but unless you fork out a lot of money, Baton Rouge is more deadly than New Orleans now, ghetto wise, and they're horrible at driving out there. Yeah, he better watch it. In Lafayette, avoid the dope areas with the addicts walking around. All of the
The
both of
zombies.
those both of those places have gone down a lot in recent years. It's not places I enjoy going anymore.
Joking aside from what Monica says, he has pneumonia.
That's the third time we've said that.
Yes, we just said it 2 minutes ago. I just explained there about he had pneumonia. He was in the hospital again.
Okay, I'm
and then
giving myself feet. Yeah.
Yeah. This squirrel got too big time today. That's all that
Yeah.
typing to your online girlfriends that you're not paying attention, Phil.
Yeah, he
There
watched
is.
Netflix on his phone. That is awesome, brother.
I figured that's what he did. What else he's gonna do? He's gonna be bored in the hospital, eat and sleep.
Yeah.
Trust me, I know. And no one's half the battle. G.I. Joe. But yeah, also before we get into the show too much, everybody that's up, hit like button, smash it, give it the elbow as hard as you can, subscribe if you want to, but smash that like button. It's free 99. We are currently talking about the dealings of Danhausen, but we also will be talking about we got a few other things to talk about, including New Japan had the New Beginning in New Jersey live Friday night, which we all watched and enjoyed. We're going to get into that. Plus, the New Japan Cup will be starting. We'll pick our supposed winners from the bracket, and we have a few other things to talk about as well.
I live in Alabama. I live in Alabama, not Josh. Josh lives in Indiana.
So, Monica, are you saying he has no acetol disease? Is that what you're trying to say?
Oh man, you might as well shake them pills, man. Shake them pills and get him some BBLs. Nah,
Anthony, Bama's not on the border. Mississippi is next door to Louisiana. Bama's like a minimum of 200 miles away from me.
I'm in the landmass between these guys.
Yeah. So it goes Bama, Mississippi, Louisiana.
Yeah,
I'm the landmass, motherfucker.
Yeah, he might want to move a little bit east of. Well, it depends on how much he's got to spend, but unless you go to a nice ass subdivision in Baton Rouge, like a gated community or a nicer area, he might want to go more on the outskirts, more to the east, and like not to NOLA, but in the direction of NOLA, like the Mississippi, Alabama direction. So like closer my way. He might not want to go just anywhere in the city because it is pretty wild. And Lafayette's hit and miss. It depends on where you want to go out there, but yeah, I have friends that live there too, and it's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, anywhere you go,
half the land time for God, and half addicts out there, out to the west.
And they don't have no good food either. Ask Jordan.
Believe it or not, Lafayette, not everywhere, but that's where the food starts to get good again. Baton Rouge, no. That's where between me and Lafayette's where the food gets shitty. Then it gets back good again in Lafayette, and as you go further out west, it turns more. That's where more of the real Cajun is. The reason I got it like I got it is I'm half Cajun and half this, so it's everything. So I combine it all. But my mom's family's from that way.
Okay,
So.
he has 10.5 million saved up. He can go anywhere he wants to go. He can go anywhere he wants to. He can move anywhere he wants to.
All right. If he's a lawyer, he'll know who to talk to, man. He'll get in a nice gated community. He can live in a nice spot in BR and be bullet free.
Mm-hmm.
Also, if there's in here, they'll be getting a Batman Superman Ninja Star.
What?
Ninja Star.
Mm-hmm.
Fly it, Mike. Fly it.
I don't have anything to fly, dude.
This dude.
Yeah, there you go. Fly yourself there, Phil. Jesus Christ, man. Oh, you made the Ultimate Warrior very unhappy.
That was good. I have no idea what the hell he was talking about. No idea what the hell he was talking about there. But anyway, can we all agree that? All right. First of all, I think all three of us on here, we all like Danhausen, right?
Yes.
We all love Danhausen.
Very
all
good.
Right, we all love that Danhausen. We all like Danhausen. All right. Can we agree that it was the way the presentation was done was not the best? That's what was the problem?
Yes.
All right. Mike says yes. Phil, you agree it was the idea of the box, the presentation, the reveal. That's what hurt and didn't help. Can you agree?
I agree. It was
okay. There we go. All right. So we all agree that is, and it's the source of the problem, and it's to do with creative, whether they were for or against, wanted it to succeed or fail. The problem was the reveal of Danhausen. The more, and I believe this. Now, I think he's going to help, whether he's on Raw or SmackDown or both. That's a sports entertainment show. You need some comedy. Danhausen is comedy. I think he's going to help the shows out and become a cool thing. And I think he's going to move up. I don't think it's going to be a bad thing once everybody realizes he's not there for titles. He's there for teeth and for comedy relief.
I think if we did like a promo or something, instead of that dancing, I think the fans would have liked him more.
Yes, that's true. Country. Yes, we have LSU, and LSU is like number one. Yeah, we murder Alabama and all that. Yeah, that's correct. All right, moving on. Yeah, we don't do the cousin fucking here. All right, moving on. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, brother. Yeah, I know. I put that up there. The night's stream is cursed. So yeah, we get cursed.
Yep, the stream is cursed. It is all nice and cursed.
Yep.
Very nice, very evil.
Yep. AEW had a mild increase in their viewership numbers, but they're still not beating NXT. And their live shows are averaging anywhere, like Dynamites are averaging anywhere from 2,000 to 3,000 paying fans. That's their average. Meanwhile, WWE is bragging that horrible show that was Elimination Chamber this year, or like Mike says, the Gas Chamber. It was one of their most profitable shows, but that is because
$200 for a nosebleed ticket.
Yeah, $205 for the worst seat in the house. That is on ticket, and yes, they had over 18,000 people. So they charged you an arm, a leg, a kidney, and half a nut, and that's why it was profitable. But yeah, insane price. $205 for the highest level to the wall seat in that venue. That is insane. That is truly insane.
I remember when TNA's front row tickets were going for $125.
I remember WCW, like I think it was $60 or $75 for front row. And my old man was like, "Oh, that's too much, but we could sit right behind him for like 20." I was like, "Yeah, that's not bad at all."
Yeah. So we're charging $200 just to sit in the nosebleeds. Jesus, man, that's
$205 just to sit all the furthest seat in the house. $205, not a conveniently, not first level, all the way second double decker to the wall. See you later. You're in another zip code. Yeah, so you can imagine the basic seat was probably $350 to $400. I mean, Mania last year was $400 for a basic seat. And just a few years back under the Vince era, somebody was saying you could take the family of four for $400 for tickets for Mania. Now it's $400 a person to get a general good seat at Mania. So that's TKO is piling up the greed, but here's the problem: the consumers are still paying the damn money. That's the problem. The consumers are not saying no; they're going, or the parents are buying, or the consumer. That's the problem. The consumers need to speak with their wallets and not go, or else you're looking at this and higher prices.
Hold on before you go any further. So you think Drew is going to lose the title to Randy, and it's going to be Randy versus Cody at WrestleMania? Cody versus Drew this Friday night, and then it's going to be, if Cody beats Drew, then it'll be Cody versus Randy at WrestleMania. That could happen.
Oh god! I saw a picture of CM Punk wearing an oxygen mask.
Oh well, hang on. Let's talk about where we're at right here. What he's talking about.
And it says, "Don't forget, we know exactly Evil will debut in the corner until joining forces with Shinsuke Nakamura. I smell WrestleMania and Tag Team Championship against him."
Oh, great! Kai Tai 2.0.
I don't know why they would put Evil with Nakamura. That makes no sense, but you never know with this company. But back to what we were talking about before we get too far ahead, what Mike just brought up. I would want to see a Cody Orton. We've been waiting for that, and Cody was always second fiddle to Orton. You back in the day, dashing Cody Rhodes. You know, Cody's a full-fledged A-lister now, big star, former world champ. It's different. different story, different time. I would much
Two-time.
rather see. I
Two-time
would
former
much,
world champ.
what?
Two-time former world champ.
Guys, I just got breaking news.
It doesn't matter. You know what I mean.
Guys, I got breaking news. This is from New Japan Pro Wrestling Global, and it's the black and white line, Jordan.
Who's hurt?
All right, here it is. Tomohiro Ishii, who is scheduled to wrestle in New Japan Cup this month after a first round bye, has sustained a neck injury and will be absent for the duration of the tour. We apologize to fans looking forward to see Ishii wrestle and appreciate your understanding. Satoshi Kojima will substitute for Ishii during the New Japan Cup tournament. Will face the winner of Ren Narita and Taichi.
And guess what? Guess where Ishii
and Takamatsu.
Guess where Ishii just wrestled Saturday against where the worst wrestle. He went to Collision and he's hurt.
He wrestled Andrade.
Andrade though, man.
Well, what went wrong?
Don't know.
Y'all watch the show. What went wrong?
Nothing.
Well, he has a neck injury. Something happened.
It wasn't live though. However,
yeah, it was taped.
It was recording Wednesday.
Yeah. So unless that match happened Friday against Bolton Oleg, and then they found out he suffered something Saturday.
Well, not good for him at his age. We will hope him the best of recoveries. But
so you can't blame AEW for this.
No, I can't. But you said Kojima's replacing him?
Yes, Kojima.
Okay, that's
Breadman.
That's not too bad. And where they're at we'll get to that because we're going to do our picks for the New Japan Cup coming up after we talk about the great U.S. show they had in a little while.
Before we go any further, Josh tried to get tickets to go to see Elimination Chamber, but he couldn't get any. Brother says he smells a fatal four-way at WrestleMania with Drew versus Cody versus RKO versus Fatu.
I hope not. That sounds convoluted as fuck.
It was a botched poison Rana, Anthony said, that happened to Tomohiro Ishii.
Yeah. All right. And Ishii's not used to working with Andrade. They weren't in the company at the same time. And there's a language barrier there.
But that match happened before the Bolton Oleg match.
It happened on Wednesday. Because remember, sometimes they.
Oh, holy shit! I mean, we all saw that Oleg and Ishii match was brutal. We're gonna get more. We're gonna get more into that. I mean, we're jumping ahead, but we know that was a brutal, hard hitting.
Oh yeah, we also got to talk about Ring of Honor. Doing tapings in studio in Jacksonville.
Yeah, well, we're gonna get to that, but you can't just jump all over the place. Hang on, let's go in order here.
All right, okay.
And Josh is saying, "How's he have a neck injury? He ain't got no neck."
That's that. He is man with no neck, but yeah, that is wild. But yeah, well, he's out. That means he's definitely gonna at least sit out the rest of the cup. So he's gonna sit out at least
he's gonna have to keep calm and tranquilo.
He's gonna have to go get some X-rays and see what the doctors tell him. That's what he's gonna have to do and fly home.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, yeah. So at least he gets at least a month off if he can recover or whatnot. But at his age, that's not good.
Before we go any further, dude, we're at 8 people in the chat.
Right. That's why we're trying to get through one thing at a time and not jump all over.
8 people in the chat. Holy shit.
Yes.
Holy shit. That's the most we've had ever on this ever. Thank you.
Right. Yes. Okay, back to it. And all of y'all, like and subscribe. Dusty Rhodes, smash that like button. Give it the elbow as hard as you can. Lest evil shall befall you. Danhausen will curse you.
Why does it seem like AEW has had a ton of moves that got screwed up and caused neck injuries? Oh man,
I can answer one of those, but I'll let Mike go.
It to me, you have a lot of unpolished wrestlers in AEW, and what I mean by that, you have a lot of indie darlings. You have a lot of people that haven't actually trained to polish their stuff. Hell, look at Powerhouse Hobbs, aka Royce Keys, now, who went to WWE and hasn't been on television yet.
And might not return to television if they don't get happy with him.
He might already be done with WWE. And then you have Jade Cargill, who they're high up on because of her physique. but she doesn't have the moves.
Eh,
Yeah, improper technique. Yeah,
go-
they're not. They train in a different style, and they don't listen. And like MJF has stated numerous times about any locker room, these young guys don't want to listen to the veterans. They just, oh, I know what I'm doing, and that
Yeah.
happens in that dude down here in the South on the indie circuit. That happens all the time, man. All these veterans come and say, "Hey, man, let me show you how to polish your craft." And they're like, "Oh,
Mhm.
I know what I'm doing. I've
That's
seen it
what's
done. I've
that's what
seen it done."
started that's what started the entire fight with Punk and Hangman in AEW. That's what started the whole. Oh, he thinks he's better than no. He's trying to tell you something because he's been there longer than. That's what started the whole thing.
And not as soon as Punk left, Hangman got clotheslined by Moxley and was out for what 6 weeks because he got a damn concussion because he took a
Mhm.
lariat from Moxley.
There's a few.
Instant karma.
Who asked this? Anthony asked this. There's
Mhm.
a few reasons. One is all right. Let's just take WWE for example. They have their own soft style, whatever we want to call it. They have their own style of wrestling. They want it like that on purpose. That's how they do it. They put you in the ring nonstop through the whole year. They want you to try to survive. That's why anybody coming from another company is to tone it down so you don't injure them. You have to learn how to move in a different way. When you put two people together that are not that, or if you don't have an experienced journeyman indie guy that knows how to change styles, that's like trying to carry a 2x10 between two men and you drop it and it busts the other one's hands. If you don't know how to work together, that's really what happened to Kenta in NXT. The people did not know how to work with him, and the minute you turn your body the wrong way, I'm having to use more force, more exertion to make moves, to make things happen. I'm hurting myself trying to work around somebody that doesn't have it right, and that's a bad thing, and you don't want that. And AEW has a lot of people from here, there, everywhere. Not everybody's Andrade, but that can wrestle that at that level and can move. But and that's something else there. You also have a language barrier sometimes, and that hurts your communication in the ring. And Ishii's Japanese. I mean, now, and I don't know if this was against Andrade. He got hurt. We all know Andrade can barely speak English, let alone anything else. Short of he might know a few Japanese words because of his time there. I mean, and then you figure Ishii just showed up to in America to fight on AEW television. What's the chances those two guys had to really work over a match short of one time, if that? That's why a lot of guys will call a match in the ring. When you travel overseas, you really want to work with somebody because you don't have time to go over a match over and over to get it right. It's not like you're from the same company and you're there all the time. I know Andrade's been working over there, but that doesn't mean him and Ishii got to work on their match or good. It might have been called on the fly with just words and symbols.
Well,
So
hold
that's
on, Jordan. Hold on. That match happened before the match Friday.
okay, but we don't know if they got to actually work on a match. We don't know it.
But Friday he looked completely uninjured.
He might have finished off what he got slightly dinged with Oleg, getting dropped on his head. I mean, that was a brutal match of suplexes and slams. The impact might have finished off what injury he had. That's why I'm not going to blame Andrade. I won't blame AEW Phil, but I think the combination of whatever hurt him plus the rest of the matches just finished him off.
It could have, but like Anthony's saying, because it had to do with some of these training schools. The kids come from not teaching them the right techniques, and then they come to national television with bad habits. Very possible.
Yeah,
Very,
yeah,
very possible. I mean,
yeah.
look at some of the trainers in the past. And we had a Truth Martini sighting on AEW. Did you see that, Phil?
True
What?
Martini.
Truth Martini was sighted at AEW with Jay Lethal.
Fruit martini. Oh,
He missed that.
Can we get a House of Truth, maybe?
possibly.
That would be awesome in 2026. A HOT back in 2026. That would be
Oh,
awesome.
guess who showed? Speaking of which, guess who showed up at Ring of Honor? Epico and Primo.
Yeah. But before we go that route, though, Lily, just hear me out. And Truth Martini is a great trainer. There's a lot of people out there in this world that aren't trainers that have schools because they were former wrestlers.
Great
And
Khali.
I'm not speaking any of the crazy names, But some of these guys that shouldn't even be a trainer because they couldn't wrestle shit to begin with, they have a school and they don't even have trainers. They're the trainer.
And that
So,
didn't start yesterday. We have an older generation that happened with us. We have some legendary old school wrestlers that you went to their school, it was considered a joke. You just got the rub because that guy had a name, but they didn't teach you shit.
yeah, hell, the power plant was a joke.
Ah, you talking about WCW's power plant? It was good. The problem was they didn't move anybody up short of Jindrak and O'Hare and all that at the end.
Elliot Skipper, Mike
Yeah,
Sanders. Mike
yeah.
Sanders was a joke.
It was too much for the beginning
How
of the
about
power
Bone
plant. It was for the beginning of the power plant. It was Goldberg, and let's just hurry and rush this guy there because he looks good and fuck everybody else. And it's like, well, come on, are you going to use the power plant now or later? I don't care what anybody wants to say. I know that's where Triple H took the inspiration for what he made NXT.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know that's what he did,
yeah.
and I don't blame him. That's a smart move.
Instead of style from WWE actually a better style for longevity's sake for
That's
wrestling
what the
body.
performance reminds you of the power plant.
I don't know, man. I think some of that WWE style could make you have a longevity in the career of being a wrestler. But here lately, man, I've seen a lot of wrestlers go down in WWE.
The main thing that hurts you in WWE is not only they use you all the time, less than they used to, but that it's all about bumps. The more bumps you take in a ring, the more you get beat up. I mean, Undertaker might have looked like he barely moved. Even his younger days, he was quicker. Undertaker might have not moved around and done a bunch of flashy stuff all the time, short of a Mania leap or walk the top rope. But look at Undertaker with his broken hips and had to get double hip replacement. He said it's all those years of getting slammed on that hard ass ring.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, Hogan admitted for years. He said, if I'd have known what it would have done to me, I would have quit doing the leg drop as a finisher and done the big boot. He says the worst thing I did to myself was that damn leg drop landing on my hip
Well,
and
it was
fucking up.
also that ring as well.
Yeah, the
Well,
old ring was hard as shit. The
The
old
new ring
WWF
is
ring was a
lot more
boxing ring.
safer. The new ring, these new rings, like in WWF and WWE and AEW, they're a lot safer.
Yeah,
It's
because
not that
back in the day,
it's not that they're safer. They went with their ring has
They're more
you got
padded.
you got the little bit of padding this much. You've got a little bit of spring under there the way it's built, and they replaced the old school lazy ropes with the cables, which cables hurt, but
yeah,
the cables snap you back. But that old WWF ring was a boxing ring. They said that thing was stiff as hell. You did Undertaker used to say in his early days, I don't want to get slammed on that ring. He
and
only
the
did
ropes were saggy, man.
they were ropes. They were actual ropes. They didn't bounce you back, so that didn't help.
Doesn't WWE still use actual ropes?
No,
They used
everybody they took over WCW when they bought WCW. They took over the cables and everything. They went to that because they saw the styles were changing. You wouldn't have had what it was, the Magnificent Seven with Paul Heyman on SmackDown.
Mhm.
That would have never happened with ropes. You needed steel cables for Malenko and Guerrero and Benoit. You needed ropes for those guys to come off of. Yeah, I mean cable. You needed actual cable, steel cable.
I was surprised. I was surprised Takamichi Noku was able to do that stuff, even with those ropes. You know, when he was wrestling, when I saw him, I was watching on YouTube, and I saw him wrestle the Great Sasuke. This was it was on an episode of Monday Night Raw for the light heavyweight championship.
Mhm.
And I was surprised they was able to do that, make that magic with those lame ass ropes.
I don't know if the rings from AEW and WWE, the old rings that WCW had. I know
It's in the
TNA.
style. In the
Yeah,
style. That's become the modern style of ring that everybody uses now.
I know TNA six-sided ring was steel cable, and it was a smaller ring, and it was tighter.
The other thing is, though, you had if I remember, a lot of TNA wrestlers hated that.
Because it was so stiff, man.
The six
it
sides
was-
made it stiff as shit.
Yeah, I mean, you really didn't know where everybody was going to come from or bounce from. And
It wasn't just that. The ring had less give, I was told. They had way less give because of the six sides versus the four, where you could kind of move, like the six side almost worked like the blue cage in Japan, Phil. You know, when you hit it, there's only so much give because the rest of the weight around it stops it from moving. That's what happened. That's why when Hogan and them came in, It felt lame, but they were like, let's go back to the 4-sided ring. They didn't want the 6-sided ring. It wasn't just that it's confusing if you don't know where to run the ropes. It was how stiff the fucking ring was.
It was so easy to take down. So easy. I loved it because it was, dude, I ran those ropes and they were fun, but they hurt.
Steel cables hurt, man. They hurt. You gotta.
Moonwalking was hurt, bro.
It hurts. It's you do it one time and you're like, ow, and then that leads into Anthony's question about what styles and longevity. The best way I could compare New Japan would be to compare it to Ric Flair and Arn Anderson. They said we wrestle 6 days a week, twice on Sundays if you're the main event, if you was Ric Flair. They said, why did we never get injured and why were we healthy? And we never went to the gym. They were like, we didn't have time for the gym. So if you stay active every day, that is your workout. That's what keeps you limber and keeps you tough. And that's why Flair and Arn always said they were never injured because they stayed working. And in Japan, you stay working in that ring and you just get so tough. But they also have such a communication and they wrestle each other on the fly that there's not really all these crazy botches over there. You don't have these crazy spots and botches. It's they know how to work it. They wrestle each other hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times that they don't even have to practice before a match.
Are you talking about New Japan?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're
Japanese wrestling.
Yeah. And Anthony said, we complained that the wrestling ring in WWE is horrible in the attitude era, but Rey Mysterio and I think Eddie Guerrero, before he passed away, said the rings in Mexico are 10 times worse. Well, of course. I mean, think about this, for example. If you look back in the day in AAA and CMLL, and I'm not taking nothing away from them companies today, but back 20, 30 years ago, bro, they were wrestling. Dude, they were wrestling. AAA was wrestling in front of a cockfighting tournament.
Yeah. Their rings were the poorest thing they could put together in Mexico. I mean, pretty much you're landing on boards with almost no give. I mean, they just had to work.
And they had no padding.
No. And let's be real for everybody on here that's not the behind the scenes and wrestling knowledge that we know. The pad under that mat is only like I don't even not 2 inches.
Mm-hmm. Some of it is now. Some of the indie, like Phil could even attest to this because we took down the MCW ring at in Mississippi. How thick is that padding?
I helped took apart a ring at a local indie show. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, and tell me that padding is probably about that thick.
Yep, you're correct.
Yeah, but that's not a lot when you're getting slammed, and this is on top of 2x10s. This is on wood. You know, it's not a trampoline like a lot of people think it is. Wrestling ring ain't a trampoline. It hurts. And that's why the first thing you do when you come in and you're new, they teach you how to run the ropes. So you're going to eat cables and and they teach you how to take a bump properly. First thing is how to land without hurting yourself flat on your back. And you're going to do it over and over. And you're going to be sore until you wear that soreness out. That's the first thing they do is you got to be able to take a bump, and then they're going to teach you how to hit those ropes. That's just toughening you up and teaching you how to move in the ring. But that's a beating, right? That's why most people don't make it past that stage in even WWE. It's a beating.
They had tough enough.
Yeah, it's a beating. And then you got to have the cardio to keep going, to keep doing that. That's why all those people that don't want it don't make it. You got that. That's a lot of work just to get started doing that every day.
Back in the day, the ring padding was a lot less than what it is today.
I don't know if it was half inch.
I think it's better if you use that padding. It's saving a lot of careers.
I mean, back in the day, the ring padding wasn't even. If the padding was only there to stop you from hitting wood, like splintering and getting. That's all that was. Between the canvas mat, that's your cloth, and the wood. You just had that thin strip there. Just to stop the canvas and just to separate the two. It didn't soften any blows, really.
Do you remember back whenever NXT had the match between Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, and they ripped the padding up so they could power drive each other on the freaking wood, and that padding was about that thick. It was a thick padding.
I'm surprised they got away with that.
Oh, dude, it was a no holds barred match, man. I mean, everything came up, everything.
TNA did that a year or two ago, and New Japan did it last year in the big fight in the cage.
That would
The
not
War Dogs.
happen on the main roster of WWE. That would not go.
No, yeah, for that
Yeah, it
War
did.
Dogs
It
cage
did. It
match.
did. Generico, Steen versus Sami Zayn did.
Sting versus Sami Zayn?
Didn't they pull up the padding on the ring?
Wait, Sting fought Sami
I mean
Zayn.
Steen. Kevin Owens. I'm sorry, Kevin
All
Owens versus
right.
Sami Zayn.
I think that was a teen. I think that was more in Ring of Honor, though.
May have been.
That was more Ring of Honor. You said Generico and Kevin Steen.
Yeah, Anthony, you're right. When Steiner said that, that's why I told you like an inch bare. I mean, there was just enough to separate the ring canvas and the wood back in the day. It's not gonna break your fall. It's not like landing having knee pads at all. Not at all.
And a lot of wrestlers today wear those knee pads because they fall a lot on their knees.
Which they've been changing. A lot of the smart ones are getting out of that. That's why Tanahashi and Naito have such bad knees, and dancers of the 2000s and the late 90s were doing the same thing. This constant crashing on the knees. By 30, they were having to retire. Now everybody's like, all right, we don't need to take the impact to the knees. Sometimes you got to learn how to save yourself, but no more falling on the knees on purpose. And I've noticed that's changed a lot in New Japan, especially. It's less straight onto the knees. It's like that just, yeah, that was killing me to watch Tanahashi do that at the end of his career.
Yeah, and then my little sister, she's 8.5 years younger than I am. She was a dancer, and her knees are terrible. Matter of fact, she's on wearing a brace for her knee now because I'm 45, she's in her mid 30s, and it's bad, man. And she's gonna have knee problems and leg problems for the rest of her life.
Yep,
Because of the dancing.
it's just like taking bumps in a ring, but straight to the knees. There's only so much the body can take till there's nothing there anymore.
Some people, yeah, I know what you mean. Some people they end up losing cartilage too because of that and everything too.
Well, there's a couple. You're right, Phil. But yeah, eventually you lose when you don't have any cartilage. You rub it bone on bone. Yeah, that hurts. And I mean, short of replacements, and then eventually, just like if you know anyone that had a broken wrist, eventually if you keep breaking it, the doctor's like, look, don't do it again. We don't have anything else to screw to. Like there's nothing left. Do it again, and we can't. You do it after this third time, we can't fix you. We have nothing left to put metal in, to screw, to attach anything to this. My
Speaking
little
of which,
cousin
I
did that.
remember I remember watching Muda's last match where he did a moonsault and everything. His doctor was pissed because he just had all those he's even bow-legged because of all those bumps he's taken over those.
Mm-hmm.
He's even sometimes has to sit in a wheelchair because you've seen the Great Muda. Yes.
Yeah.
Like I saw Darby Allin, in a backstage promo, push him in the backstage. Darby Allin was doing that.
Yeah, but I forgot where I was going with that. But yeah, you're right about all that. I got thrown off when I read Anthony's comment about Charlotte.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, Charlotte never really landed on her knees all the time. That's something the newer talent's kind of getting away from. I found Mercedes did it a couple times, but yeah, you don't want to land straight on the knee. You got to get away from that because all that's going to do is just mess you up and cause you more problems. That's why Minoru Suzuki, even at his old age, is still all right because he didn't do impact shit like that. He's more grappling with strikes. That just prolongs the career. It's Orange Cassidy got out of doing the crazy high flying all the time as one of the ants, and he does his lazy gimmick, which prolongs his career. There's all kind of ways you can go about. One of the most healthiest people that never got injured was Chris Jericho, and I attribute that to him just being a good wrestler and sticking to what he knew and being safe, but not in the way of the Miz that looks shitty. Jericho stuck to what he knew it could make it look good, and he never really. The only time he ever injured himself was he did it to himself. No one was in the ring, and he saw Billy Kidman do the shooting star crest, the backflip off the top rope, and he went and tried it by himself, and he broke his own arm, and he said never again. And that's the biggest injury Jericho's ever had in the ring, and it was just him trying to stunt. But Yeah, he's one of the people that's almost never been injured, but he knew how to put on good matches and make it look good in his prime.
Yeah, he was Fire Ant. George Cassidy was Fire Ant in the colony. He was a leader of the colony in Chikara.
He was Fire Ant, right?
Yep.
Because you had Soldier Ant, Fire Ant, and what was the other one?
I forgot the other one. I'll tell you. Hold on.
It was Soldier Ant, Fire Ant, and it was kind
Green
of a
Ant.
weird
There was Fire Ant, Green Ant, Soldier Ant, Thief Ant, Ultimo Ant, Worker Ant,
worker ant.
and there was Silver Ant.
I never knew more than the first three. They must have added a lot of people.
Yeah, there's Carpenter Ant. There was a lot of them, man. Chris Hero was part of he trained most of them. Him, Mike Quackenbush, and Skade, and Claudio. Well, Worker Ant was trained. Fire Ant, Soldier Ant, and Worker Ant were trained by Chris Hero, Mike Quackenbush, and Skade. Silver Ant was trained by Claudio Castagnoli and Mike Quackenbush.
We had a whole colony of ants eventually. I only knew the three,
Yep.
but
I wish they would have had a Queen Ant too. That'd have been awesome.
I like when they would do the time bomb thing and slow time down. That was great. Even the ref would be in on it. I was like, look at it. The Miz, yeah, he's been in there long because he does that. But you know what? His offense looks like shit. The Miz could do a way better job of his offense. I mean, his shit just looks lame.
I love that shit, dude.
He is so the Miz so close for his work rate is sad.
Yeah.
But we need to get it. We need to talk about the awesome. Not only we get an awesome week of wrestling, not counting Elimination Chamber, but we need to talk about New Japan New Beginning live from New Jersey, which all three of us watched Friday. What a great show! We could run down the fucking card. We had about 7 or 8 AEW talents, the most Tony Khan's ever let come over. They all did a good. We had no dud matches. We had no match was truly bad. Every match was really good. Everybody has their personal favorites, of course, different styles. But we had in New Japan, we have styles and we have weight classes. So we had heavyweight matches. We had a Haas match. We had two different junior matches, lightweight and flying around. We had women's. It was all over the board. So there was something for everybody, and they didn't let us down. It was match after match, no stupid commercials, no editing, good show, good crowd. I have nothing bad to say about it. It was one of the most entertaining U.S. shows, short of maybe Madison Square Garden, we've seen.
It was
The
a good
opening
show.
match
I
was-
loved it.
The opening match was, and this right here is what set me off a little. You had Fred Rosser, also known as Darren Young, versus David Finlay.
Right.
Mr. Days Off versus Where Am I Going? That's where you get. That was the very first match on the card. And when Fred Rosser came out, there was a small applause and everything because of what he does for the United States indie circuit. And he works in that whole, I call it the East Coast. And when David Finlay came out, it was, there's no difference. The heavyweight division and the Haas division are the same division.
It's when you get into the neverweight title, it's turned more into a brawler Haas kind of strongman competition. So
Yeah.
that's when you get, and we got a match like that. We'll get into it, but we'll tell you about it.
So my thing about taking away from that match, Fred Rosser looked really good.
Always.
And I mean, you couldn't tell if there was any ring rust at all. And
I mean, the guy basically is the he helps out. He's basically one of the big lead trainers at the LA Dojo for New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yeah,
And-
and he helped carry the Strong brand in the U.S. every Friday night. I mean, he was a top guy along with Filthy Tom Lawler. Fred Rosser, since leaving the WWE and working more in the New Japan ring and style, he's a whole different guy. Different guy.
Mr. No Days Off, man.
Yeah.
He's
And
not the primetime player you saw when he was with Titus
No.
Kid worldwide.
No, he works hard and he wrestles pretty good. Is he main event and all of that? No, but
Mid-card,
it's
a decent mid-carder, yes.
yeah. I mean, he's a solid worker now, and he puts good way to start your show, especially for the people that used to watch Strong. And we saw they had the Strong ring mat from America they use. So a good way to start with him, and of course,
He's
like
a fucking workhorse.
yeah. He's working harder now than he ever did in the WWE ring, and like Mike said, Finley, where is he going? What's going to happen? Final match ever in New Japan. Final match under there, for now at least. But yeah, that's how we started the night.
I think he's probably going to sign like a hype, like both, kind of like what what's her name, Persephone did.
Well, we know what's going to happen now, but we'll get to it in a minute. Go ahead, Mike.
But the thing after he won the match, after Dave Finley beat Fred Rosser,
yeah, he won his going out match too.
He grabbed the microphone.
which tells us everything we need to know and what New Japan's reports were. So, yes, he's going to AEW, and yes, New Japan's still interested in him. Yes, he will be coming back eventually. So,
yeah,
he's going to become an AEW guy, and kind of like Ospreay, kind of like some of the he's going to be a part-time new, kind of like Takeshita. We'll get more into Takeshita later because he was on the card. We'll get more into him, but.
And then the second match of the night, right off the bat, Boltin Oleg Bars versus Tomohiro Ishii.
A true Hoss style brawl, suplexes and slams everywhere. A straight up, people like to say meat. This was the real meat because to see those two guys.
It was like Stan Hansen versus like Kenta Kobashi type.
More athletic. I mean, Mike, those slams. The power.
Man, all I'm going to say is they had a match inside of a match.
It was a
what I mean by this is you had two grown-ass men chopping each other for 2 whole minutes. And everybody was on their fucking feet. And the crowd. They were showing the crowd and they were just chopping each other, bro. Just one would slap the other, one would slap one, they would slap.
You would not like that.
Huh?
Country would hate that.
Well, it went on for like 2 minutes with nonstop applause.
Dude, and everybody was chanting, Everybody was chanting, yeah, because they didn't stop.
No. I mean, every time you thought they were going to stop, no, you get 30 seconds more. No, you get 30 seconds more.
Dude, it was phenomenal, man. And the coolest thing about it is when it was done, Oleg had the upper hand. And at least you thought he had the upper hand, and then he body slams Tomohiro Ishii, and Ishii gets up going, oh, and
what Ishii does.
And then he charged Oleg and knocked Oleg down. Did that stop Oleg? No, Oleg jumped up and he screamed, and then they collided in the middle of the ring at least 12 to 13 times. And
you know they're gonna fight for that strong title. You know they will.
Bro, that was to me. For the next 3 matches, that was the match of the night.
I know you loved it.
And I said, dude, that by far killed everything. Because you had storytelling for a title. You had characterization because of 2 grown-ass men showing their character work and what they're known for. And then on top of that, you have this crowd who were so into it. And at first they didn't even chant meat or anything. I'm the one who chanted meat in the chat. But, dude, nobody chanted anything, and everybody was just like, yeah. They just came up and they just started rivaling. And
it was beast mode. It was beast mode.
And the next match didn't live up half to this hype. And Jordan's a big light heavyweight guy. He loves the light heavyweights. But when Oleg won that title, they were chanting, you deserve it.
Yeah, and that's Boltin Oleg's first match on U.S. soil and won the title. His second title, guy never went on excursion for being a young lion because he immediately won the neverweight 6-man. That's your trios. Now he gets his second title. I mean, the dude is money. The only thing I'm scared of is when NXT comes knocking for him because he's built like a brick house. The dude's from a different country. He's got all that appeal. I mean, that's the only thing I'm worried about is losing him one day because they're going to be – you'd be dumb not to want that man on your roster.
Just imagine if Vince buys back WWE. You're like
Oh, Vince would be in love with a guy like him. Look at his build. That dude could legit toss Gunther around like a rag doll or Brock.
Dude, he picked up Tomohiro Ishii and swung him
That's
back.
one of his moves. He does he holds you in like a side a gut wrench, and he'll left, then flip you right, flip you. That's one of Bolton's Oleg show off moves.
And Ishii ain't a lightweight, man.
No. And how about those suplexes they were doing each other? Like straight up hard weight suplexes.
Like the dudes, man. Oh my god.
Dude, Oleg is money, bro. He's moving up.
And the crazy thing about it is, whenever he, like I said, when he won that title, people were chanting, "You deserve it," and
Yeah.
he didn't even acknowledge the crowd.
Bars.
All he did was held up the title and walked the fuck out the ring. He didn't even acknowledge the crowd. He didn't give him a thumbs up or anything. He was like, "Fuck that, I'm out of here."
Yeah, he's not gonna hot dog. That man just came from being trained. He's still humble. He's not gonna hot dog. He's gonna earn it in the ring. That's his attitude, and that's a good attitude to have.
That's a babyface attitude right there.
That's the attitude. That's the complete opposite of what we were talking about earlier, where everybody's, oh, I don't need you to tell me how to do the complete opposite.
Yes.
This man listened. He was trained in the dojo. He graduated. He's not a young lion anymore. He's moved up. He's one of the hot young prospects to watch, and he's got a hell of a future. I just hope he stays healthy and WWE stays away. That's what I hope. That's what I hope.
So,
But the next match, in my opinion, man, and it was a letdown because you had Ricochet versus. No, I'm sorry, that wasn't the next match. The next match was, yeah, it was the next match. That was Ricochet versus
Taiji Ishimori.
yeah, Taiji Ishimori.
Yeah,
That was the
which
next-
I like. I'm sorry. I like Ishimori a lot. I like my junior heavyweights, my favorite division in New Japan. But I'm not going to take anything away from Ricochet. He worked a slower pace for the first half of the match, but he's playing a heel. And he's trying to preserve some of it. He's wrestled a long time. He's trying to save himself, his body. So he turned it up the second half of the match. There was almost a botch at one point because he was in the wrong place. And it made Ishimori was trying to not jump as far. So Ricochet should have been further out. But I enjoyed it still, especially the second half. And you can how Ishimori's age and how fast he is. Isn't that insane? How fast that dude is for being in his 40s. It's insane. Should have
Bone
seen him in his
Soldier can
20s.
Bone Soldier can go, man.
You should have seen him in his 20s over in
Oh,
Noah.
he was like, I've seen him in his 20s, like an old match when he was wrestling for Noah.
Yeah. Dude was lightning. Fucking lightning. But I like that Ricochet did good storytelling when I take it out my head that I'm not watching 2007 Ricochet, or 2010 Ricochet. I'm watching post New Japan Ricochet, and he was playing the heel. I mean, we saw Davey Boy chin locks, snooze fest, catch your breath, but he's playing the heel. Now, the only thing that didn't make a lot of sense is, and everybody that went to that show knows who Ishimori. Ishimori is technically not usually the good guy, but in this case, they were almost cheering him on because Ricochet was the heel. But
Everybody knows who Ricochet is.
overall, it worked, and I didn't mind the match, and I liked the way the card went from the opener to the horses to the. I would have saved them maybe a little later, the second match, but this is not where I got. I'm not gonna say I got pissed off. There's one part of the show that hit a lull for me, and the problem was the order of the match, and I explained that to Mike earlier in the chat, but we'll get to it. But I didn't mind this match.
The only thing I didn't like about this match is they had room to go and do anything for light heavyweights, but the next match took advantage of that situation.
Yeah,
These two didn't, and Ricochet wins the match clean over Ishimori, which I was okay with. But the Spirit Gun almost looked like a hidden blade.
that bothered me. I didn't like that. It's like, come on, bro. That's kind of Osprey's move you're using there.
Yeah, the Spirit Gun to the back of the head, that's an Osprey move because Spirit Gun's to the front.
Yeah, that kind of pissed me off. That's a little too much rip off there. And then for a finishing move, not just a move in the match, I was kind of like, unless he's trying to build a program where he fights Osprey again.
I think that's what he's trying to do.
I think that'd be good.
Which they're never going to touch their classic New Japan match where they were both juniors and flying all over the ring. It's never going to happen. It's never
I
going to
still want
happen.
to see it. I don't care. I still want to see it. I still want to see it.
you probably will. You probably will.
I still want to see it.
But, all right. Well, then we moved on to the fourth match. This was light heavyweight again, but this was for the junior tag team championships. Yeah, that was Matt. Yeah.
Busted in the Brain versus shit. Forget the other tag team.
We had
El Desperado and El Desperado.
Oh no, this was not for the tag belts.
It was El Desperado and what was this tag team? Kushida, yeah.
Which was a makeshift tag team because those two were never so against two AEW guys who are an established tag team.
No. Hold on. Before we go to AEW, man, let's just be real here. Alec Price and Jordan Oliver are homegrown talent from GCW. They were trained in the Combat Zone, but these two assholes, I call them assholes, because they're assholes. I love them. And they have a brash attitude, and they're very humble. They listen. They hone their craft in GCW for many years.
I thought they did good.
They are fantastic. Alec Price was last year at the Hoss tournament that I went to. The kid is money. And his best catchphrase, Jordan Oliver, dude, the East Coast Ace, dude, the whole fucking breakfast. Yeah, dude, I can go on and on about these two guys. Jordan Oliver is a phenomenal athlete, but Alec Price stole that fucking match. Okay. Alec Price, to me, his best catchphrase in the Indies was "one more time, cause he's trash," and then he'd do it again. Like, dude, that is I wish they'd allow him to do that in AEW. That is a great catchphrase. It is awesome. It would get over with the crowd. It would get over with the fans. And Jordan Oliver doing the whole Hail to the King because he is a big fan of Trent Acid. He watched all the old Trent Acid tapes from back in the day. He even does the acid kick. He does a lot of cool moves from back when Trent Acid was around.
I would like to see him in the Super Junior.
That's what I would like both of them to be in the Super Juniors, but I doubt Tony Khan's going to let them. But I would like to see both of them in singles.
Dude, I think he would. I think he would because they're trying
to. Look how many. Jordan. Look how many talent. Look how much AEW talent was at this show.
Yeah, finally, he let 7 or 8 talent go over to the show. Finally, not one or two guys.
But it was a great show too. It was like it reminded me of those old crossovers that New Japan and Ring of Honor did.
Yeah, we finally got a decent AEW crossover that wasn't under an AEW banner for the first time in how many years since we've had this partnership?
But it was on U.S. soil. You forget it was on U.S. soil.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, he kind of had to send people up all the times he's shortchanged us. But yeah, I would like to see those. I doubt he's going to let them, but I'd like to see both of them.
Dude, I think he'll let them for one reason. Them kids, you know who they remind me of? Quote me if I'm wrong, Phil. Quote me if I'm wrong. A young Adam Cole and a young Kyle O'Reilly.
Yeah, I see it. I don't think
he's going to let them. Tag team in Ring of Honor. Do y'all remember when they were a tag team in Ring of Honor?
Oh, yeah, they were awesome.
Does Alec Price and Jordan Oliver remind you of that hungry tag team of like
Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly? Yes, they do.
Well, in the match, it was a good match. Believe it or not, the established tag team of those two lost to Kushida and Desperado, the veterans, which are not a tag team, but they actually got the legit win. Kushida looks great, faster and better than he has in years. I thought he had slowed down. And supposedly he just moved back to Japan, so I think we're gonna be seeing more of him. He just left California, so.
And the cool thing about this match, dude, like I said, they took advantage of the whole area. And there's a stage that comes down. There's 2 stairways that come down. Alec Price made his way up that entrance ramp to the entrance way and dove off on the Kushida and El Desperado as a front flip and landed on them. And then stood up and goes, yeah! And the crowd erupted, bro.
Yeah, I think that's why they didn't do that in the previous match. I think they didn't. Ricochet and Ishimori were like, they're going to do all that. We're going to let them have that spot and come after us after. And plus, Ricochet's playing the heel, so they stayed more, not all in the ring, but more in the ring and let them, the other guys after, have the outside, which I thought that was a smart move. I don't want to see the same finisher in 3 matches. You know,
No.
don't give me the same high spot. Everyone's going to jump off. That I liked it like that. The thing I didn't like, and this is nothing on the guys, nothing on the wrestlers. I didn't like that this match was right after the other junior weight match.
Yeah, he
That
had
was-
a problem with that. That was Jordan's whole
Yeah.
Jordan's whole critique.
I wanted one. I would have moved that match with the next. I would have put the next match in between those two, just to break it up to where we didn't have to have the two. And I love my favorite division is the junior weight division.
Well,
But
the reason why they did it though, man, is the next match was for a title. You just had a title.
I know. You're
That's
right.
why they did it.
I know. But I would have rather them put the TV title match between there to break up the high. I would have been more excited for this match if we would have had the TV title match between them. I'd have got hyped again. I was kind of almost getting a little early burnout of high flying and speed.
But at the end of this match, what was really, really, really cool to me, Despy, Jordan Oliver, Despy, Alec Price,
Kushida.
Kushida.
Oh no! Kushida
Jordan.
walked away. Kushida walked. Despy did it.
But then Kushida came back and shook their hands.
Yeah.
And then they both, Jordan Oliver and Alec Price, got on their hands and knees. And Jordan Oliver is dog. Yeah. And they both kneeled down on their knees and kissed the strong style New Japan match.
Yeah, they the Lions crest, which is the ultimate sign of respect. Not only do you bow all 4 around the ring to the fans after, they showed respect to the brand. That was perfect. That's why I said I want to see these guys in the New Japan in the Super Juniors. I think they deserve it. I want to see.
I think it was pretty awesome that Japan and that Jordan Oliver and Alec, they kissed them out with the lion.
Yeah, dude, they showed
respect.
respect.
They have respect for the game.
Yeah, and Finley did the same thing on his before his he grabbed the mic. He showed respect. Jay White kissed the ring before he left and got jumped up. That's what you're supposed to do. But I like that they did a great job coming over to New Japan, even though it's US Soul. I have no problems with those guys. I hope Tony Khan doesn't send one guy like normal or no one for the Super Junior. He lets.
I think he should send both of them, man, because
I
said, those kids are hungry, bro.
I wish, but knowing him, he's going to have an excuse, or he's going to, we need them for the ROH tape or some bullshit. But I'm not banking on it. But if they come over, great. And I think that's Phil. You got anything to add to that match?
It was phenomenal. That's all I can say. It was just.
It was good.
I've been a fan of Jordan Oliver since I started watching him in MLW and everything. I watched his matches in MLW and GCW. Dude, this dude even took a fucking from like a little hang from Pete Dunne.
I like me some Pete Dunne, bro. I like me some Pete Dunne.
The coolest thing that I've ever seen from Jordan Oliver was his match versus Alex Shelley, and he beat Alex Shelley clean in the JCW Championship Tournament match. That, to me, showed the ultimate respect after he beat Alex Shelley. Alex Shelley walked over, grabbed the microphone, and said, "You have what it takes to be the next great thing. Keep your head up. Don't let anybody stop you. Don't let anybody tell you any different. You have what it takes."
Tyler Helton says Alex Price and Jordan Oliver is dog.
Yes.
So y'all watching, y'all can hear we've just covered match 4, and we have no complaints about what took place in the ring yet. So y'all can hear how good this show was if y'all missed it.
But still, as good as this match was, still didn't touch Tomohiro Ishii in Bolton Oleg.
I know, but you love that strong style, beat 'em up. You love that, and I like it too. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy it.
That was my match, man. That was my match so far tonight.
I don't blame you. I said there's probably gonna be nothing on this card that Mike's gonna make Mike happier than that. There's probably won't be.
But there was
maybe close, but I said that match is gonna stay. I said that match is gonna stay with Mike. I said that.
Yeah, but there was a match, and I'm talking about it coming up right now.
Oh, okay. Okay.
This match had everything I wanted and then some. Because I didn't think we were going to get it, but we got it.
Well, first of all, let's start at the beginning here. This is a TV title, 15-minute time limit. All right, go ahead.
And we had the champion ELP versus the Alpha Koneski Takeshita.
And this was a return match, not their first meeting.
This is their second time because earlier in the month, I'm gonna break it down to you. The first time they fought each other went to a time limit draw, and AEW for the Continental Championship, Moxley took, or I'm gonna phrase that, Takeshita took Moxley to a time limit draw. And so we have another match coming up later on at Revolution, Mox versus Takeshita. But this match by itself was Takeshita versus
More NJPW. Yes, you should, Tyler.
Yeah, you do. And just for the record, this show was only $20. This entire show we're watching here that was streamed the Friday night at 7:00, like a pay-per-view, was only $20.
And it was Takeshita versus ELP. Now they got in the ring. They had a couple of filling out.
We mentioned what ELP was wearing, his gear.
The throwback to Bret the Hitman Hart, the Hart Foundation.
Which, if y'all don't know, El Phantasmo he's kind of a lighter weight fly around guy, but he is Canadian.
He's a great guy.
Yes,
he does rip off RVD, but we'll get in that in a minute.
Thunder Kiss 86. That's
great finish. But the whole entire match was a filling out process for 10 minutes. 10 whole minutes you had a filling out process. Then you could see Takeshita trying to build up some momentum going into the final 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But ELP was on defense, and he would counter everything Takeshita was doing.
And Takeshita, I mentioned this in the show, Takeshita started this match wrestling main event style heavyweight, which means he was slower, methodical, more conserving his space. That's the opposite of what you need to do in a 15-minute TV title. He was going like he was going 60 minutes, and I said this could burn his ass, but because eventually the challenge in a real New Japan TV title match, the challenger's enemy is the clock. You're against the clock to try to get that title off of, and the challenger is trying to use the time to their advantage. That's how this match works.
Yes, and at the very end, it had a minute and a half to go. I was like, dude, come on, Takeshita, put him away. And as soon as he gave him what was it, the power bomb, boom. And it was 10 seconds to go. Then he gave him another power bomb, and then the bell rings. And ELP was getting the win, actually, because that's what ELP was doing. ELP did the 2 power bombs, and he was going for the win. And the bell rings. And Takeshita
and for the one and only time that night, the entire crowd stood up and booed like a motherfucker. But we're not done.
Yeah. So Takeshita just looks at him and walks out the ring. Oh, by the way, I got to get, before we get any further, before I go into the finish of this, I got to give a shout out to Rocky Romero. Dude, I want your jacket. I want a jacket with Don Callis' head on my back. Dude, I do. And during that match, there was Don Callis. Fuck Don Callis. Over and over and over like they were at an AEW ring. Dude, it was amazing. And it was insane because Rocky Romero didn't even do shit in that match. He didn't do anything.
I'll explain it after Mike finishes talking about this match and covering it. I'll explain to you how it works. But it's actually very affordable.
So, Rocky, if you watch this or if you hear about this, I want a fucking jacket. I know what it is. I know it's a big-ass sticker or a big-ass whatever it is on the jacket. I get it. I love it. Don Callis.
Mike, go on Rocky's Twitter and tell him, how do I go about getting a jacket like that? And he'll answer.
I might do that.
He'll answer you. Ask Phil. He'll answer you.
Yeah. But you know, Rocky's a good dude. Rocky's a great guy.
Rocky's a 20-plus year veteran.
Basically the American ambassador, English.
For New Japan.
Yeah. He comes from a legendary lightweight tag team, Roppongi.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's a 20-plus year veteran. I mean, he's joined AEW now with the new deal, but he's been in the business a long time. And
he's a great character. His character is phenomenal. I remember in New Japan, he made his own ring music at one time.
Yeah, he did. He does. He composed his own music. But I was talking about the finish of the match as Takeshita and Rocky were walking back up the ramp to leave.
ELP, hey, New Jersey. No, fuck that. Takeshita, we've already went to one fucking time limit draw. You had a no limit draw. You got a time limit draw with Moxley. Hey, New Jersey, how about 5 more minutes? They chanted. It, the whole place erupted. 5 more minutes. They all chanted, yeah. And then you see Takeshita keep walking, and Rocky stopped him, whispered something in his ear. They both turn around and walk down the steps, get back in the ring, and then you hear the announcer come over the loudspeaker. Due to this and the other, we're gonna give this 5 more minutes.
And the place erupted. And
Dude,
they erupted.
They erupted with applause and cheers.
And we got what could be the most exciting 5 minutes in wrestling we might have ever seen.
Oh my god, dude, they went all out, dude. All out. You had ELP near finish. You had a Takeshita near finish. You had another ELP near finish. You had another Takeshita near finish. And then when Takeshita finished him, holy shit. Dude, it was like a vertebraker. And then he went for the
Yeah, it was nasty.
And dude, he pinned him 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
ELP snatched the title from him because they gave it to Takeshita. He snatched it from Takeshita, hands it to him, pats him on the shoulder, kneels down. They both grab hands, and he leaves the ring.
Yep. He kissed the belt and handed it to him, and all of that. They all shook hands, and we have a new New Japan television champion.
So let's get Takeshita. He's a Triple Crown champion in New Japan now.
Dude, it was phenomenal.
Wait a minute, Takeshi's also a former Intercontinental champion as well.
No.
He's just New Japan. He's just New Japan World Heavyweight Champion.
No, I mean he's a former IWGP Intercontinental because of the you know what I'm talking about, right, Jordan?
No, he never held the global or
global was held by Yoda.
Huh?
Yoda held that title before he channeled his.
This is only his second New Japan title, Phil.
No. Remember, I thought it's actually his third New Japan title. Remember, he held the Never Openweight Championship. Yes, Takeshita has held the Never Openweight Championship.
Oh, okay, well that's not Triple Crown, but if he's held the Never, when did he hold the Never?
Hold on.
I don't remember that. I must have missed that. I don't remember.
He did hold the Intercontinental because remember the World Heavyweight Championship was unified.
The Intercontinental belt left when Ibushi combined it, dude. Like Takeshita wasn't even. I don't even know.
Remember what Yoda Tsuji said?
No, I don't remember.
He said that the World Heavyweight Championship was unified. Was a unified version of the Heavyweight Championship in the Intercontinental Championship.
Hold on.
Yeah,
on January 4, 2025 at Wrestle Kingdom 19, Takeshita defeated Shingo Takagi to win the Never Openweight Championship in a winner-takes-all match. That also involved Takeshita's AEW International Championship.
Okay, I completely forgot about that, and I watched that, so.
Takeshita announced that he had also been signed to New Japan while it's remaining under contract with AEW and DDT. On April 5th at Sakura Genesis, Takeshita successfully defended his Never Openweight Championship against Oiwa. And on April 11th at Windy City Riot, Takeshita defeated Tanahashi in a Tanahashi's final match in the United States.
Who beat? Well, I'm trying to remember. Okay, I remember him dropping the title. Now I remember him walking out and losing it. Didn't he lose it to Oleg?
Yes. Yeah. At Dominion.
Yeah. Last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember him walking out. Yeah, he did. Yeah, okay. I forgot about that. Takeshita did have the Neverweight.
Yep, and then he participated in G1 Climax 35, where he advanced to the B block with a 6-3 record.
You're correct.
In the playoffs, like Sabre Jr. in the semifinals, and that Evil in the final.
Yeah, and that's when everybody booed because they didn't, they didn't want the outsider at the time. But Takeshita's proven himself. He did it for the earlier this year, January 4th. That was the proven grounds. Even though he lost the match, Takeshita proved he belonged. That he's good in New Japan, and everybody was all right. We done booing him. We good with it now.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was. Yeah,
he earned it.
He earned the respect. He wrestled like it was the main event against Tsuji, and he treated it with respect. He did it right. He earned that. He earned his spot. So yeah, now he's welcome in New Japan. So yeah, it's all good.
He beat ZSJ and Hiroki Goto, and then he lost to Goto Tsuji at Wrestle Kingdom this year.
Right. Which I'm glad he got a couple of defenses under his belt because I was like, that ain't gonna look good if it just goes right away into him dropping it. I was glad that they did that.
And then February 27th, he beat El Fantasma. So this is actually, his third championship he's won from New Japan.
He hasn't captured the secondary title yet, and he hasn't held a heavyweight tag yet.
I don't think he will.
If they got time for it, if without using him in AEW, if they have time for it, they'll throw that on him as another accolade. They'll team him with somebody. You never know. They might put him in a couple of years. They might put him with Tsuji, and they might be the tag champs. You never know.
And last year, he revealed that he is married to Yuka Sakazaki.
Yep.
Yes, that is true.
His nickname in DDT when he started his teenager was Big Baby because he was the youngest out of all the DDT roster.
Yeah, he's a young guy too, man.
Let me answer Tyler's question here so you can know what's going on. New Japan, the app was about $9. A couple of years ago, they upgraded to HD and 4K and all that, so the quality's way better. So now it's about $12, depending on if you're US, it's about $12. You get every show plus the Classic Vault all covered for the month. Every month, you're paid up. You get New Japan's big shows. The only thing you have to pay separate for is the United States special show because they have to get a whole nother team to broadcast and hire them. So that's when you have to go through. And at least now it's not through an outside app. You could go on New Japan World's app and you buy it like that. But yeah, that was $20. And sometimes you get 2 nights in a row for $20. They did that for us last year. We paid $20 and we got a 2-night. We got a 2-night pay-per-view last year from New Japan for $20. So their prices are great. Plus you get all the Classic Vault dubbed in English. With everything. The classic matches of just about everybody you could name that's not called The Rock or Roman Reigns. Everybody that's been in wrestling went to Japan.
I also like to say I wouldn't mind seeing Veda Scott do commentary for Stardom.
She improved greatly. I think she must have read the comments. She was not the same person. She did a tremendous job on this show. There was no ooh and on. Oh. She actually was saying words that make sense. She was calling what was going on in the ring. She did her best commentary as a color or analysis ever. She was big improvement. No gasping and nothing. She was good. She was actually really good.
And then the next match, which was for the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Championships, was a phenomenal match. This match had everything and then some too. And I didn't think I was going to care for it because AEW really hasn't been pushing GOA versus the Knockout Brothers. And to me, it was phenomenal. I don't know how y'all felt about it.
I loved it. The Gates of Agony really did a great job out there. They're used to they wrestled the strong style before. I mean, they competed in the World Tag League about a few years ago. So
against the Knockout Bros because they were young lions then, and they beat them. And this match was awesome.
I was a little let down by this match, and that's only because of the pace. I'm thinking they didn't have a chance to really go over anything. At the 4 of them. I didn't like the pacing, and it looked like KO Bros were in way too much trouble and selling that they were hurt and not enough action. I thought it should have been more of a traditional New Japan tag match, and I felt like these other 2 guys just
ran shot them.
It's like they didn't have a chance to work on the match, and they had to slow everything down and play. KO Bros had to play like they were more in danger than ever to slow it down, like there weren't enough moves to be had. And I'm like, okay, they're big and they're imposing. I get if Tony Khan said make them look strong or make them look good, but I didn't feel like this they clicked very. I've watched every KO Bros match since they captured the titles, and I felt like this was the weakest one. Now that's saying a lot. You can ask Mike and Phil. That's how good the KO Bros are and all their matches are. That's saying a lot. Saying this
match was selling in psychology.
This match was not bad. This match to me was just the lowest of the KO Bros defenses we've seen.
To me, it made them look like they got exposed.
Like
Like,
KO Bros got exposed?
yeah,
Hmm.
because if you think about it, they've been highly offensive in all their matches up until then. They were on the offensive on most of the occasions in New Japan. Tell me I'm wrong.
I find the last couple of matches I watched went back and forth 50-50. There was times when they were in trouble, but the pacing was still there. There was still action going on. Not I slammed this guy outside, all right, I'm gonna kind of walk around WWE style like the guys were. I didn't care for that, but like I said, that could come down to Kill Bros just flew in. They didn't really have a chance to go over much of a match, short of certain spots, and they had to make do with what they had.
A little
It
jet
wasn't a
lag.
bad match, not a bad match, just not. I felt a little low right here because I'm used to seeing the KO Bros in more high intensity matches.
Like a
And
little
so
like they had a little jet lag maybe.
I didn't feel like KO Bros. I felt like they on purpose were playing injured and hurt to sell for the other guys. I don't feel the other guys had enough. It was more move, rest. Then he's got the advantage. Oh, here they come. No, he's got the like a normal KO Bros match until the end when they hit their move and you knew they were winning. But I just didn't care for it at that point the way it went. But it was still wasn't a bad match. It's just it's the to me it's the lesser of the KO title defenses.
I thought they got exposed because no one's ever handled Oscar the way they did. No
No,
one.
no, not at all.
No one.
No.
And Yudo Ice, he and this is I watch a lot of their defenses too. And Yudo Ice is not usually the guy that takes the ass whooping. It's usually Oscar taking the ass whooping in that ring. This time it was Yudo Ice just sitting there for 5, 6, 7 minutes before he got the hot tag to Oscar. And to me, that right there showed a lot of like exposing. Like they're showing that it ain't just one of these guys you got to fuck with. You got to deal with both of these assholes, and both of these guys are equally as good. Now now you took Oscar out with a guardrail, and he was out for 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Rice
yeah.
is in the ring getting his ass beat, but he's also dishing that shit back out. Then
Which
Oscar gets in the ring.
psychology wise that works because you we take the bigger guy, we throw him against the barricade, take him out. We're gonna work over the speedier guy, the bulkier, but not the taller guy, the powerhouse. So yet again storytelling in a New Japan match, which they're the best at. I just wish they would have the when the I'm calling them. There's not really heels and faces here. We got tweeners and Ricochet's boys, but I wish when they were on the offense, they would have been a little more high energy.
Well, dude, you got a guy that's 330 pounds flying around the
Yeah,
ring.
yeah,
You get another
yeah,
guy that's 285 bouncing off the top rope like a lightweight.
yeah.
I'm talking
I
about the
know, but
gates of agony.
I felt it was move, rest, move, rest, move, like WWE storytelling in a way. But I mean, I get it, but and I get they might not be able to move because they're so big and they're not that they can't move like that. But I
But
just would.
also, Jordan, last Wednesday, they also went through a hell of a match on Dynamite. Phil, you can attest to this. They were in a 5-on-5 match, and there was 12 tables set up around the fucking ring, and 7 of them went because of Gates of Agony. Gates of Agony went through 7 tables that night. Am I wrong or right, Phil?
You're right.
And dude, they got their asses handed to them all over that fucking ring, but they dished it out too.
Yeah.
Fucking the big guy, Toa Leona, took 7 super kicks to the face and
Oh.
stood there, and
I,
took
t-
2 more, and then he
I,
fell over the ring into a fucking table. I
I
was
hear
like,
you, but normally a 5-on-5 saves you because you don't have to put all the work in and you've got that many guys in a ring. That's the best way to hide somebody that's hurt or to dish out where it's equal to where you saving people and giving them room. I tell you what, when we go revisit this, Mike, with the day when they announced that the KO Bros are going to defend against Okan and Henare, and we watch that match. We're gonna talk about this again after we watch that the day that happens and 2 big guys fight KO Bros, and we're gonna get more of that pacing. I'm looking for. We'll talk about this again.
Erga's favorite wrestler.
Mongolia.
Great O'Con.
Yep.
I'm not a fan of Great O'Con. Hanare, on the other hand, dude, hands down one of the greatest wrestlers
I
I've ever
will.
seen.
I'll blow your mind, Phil. We got a match a couple years ago. I think it was a tournament, but we got ZSJ versus Okan. Now you're thinking, all right, we're gonna see the technical small guy versus the powerhouse. Do you know that's not what we got? Okan started acting like he was Brock Lesnar chain wrestling, and he's very, believe it or not, for his size, he is limber and very proficient at mat wrestling and catch a sketch can. I was blew my mind. He was hanging with ZSJ full speed, blew my mind.
Yeah, he can hang
So
with anybody. He can hang with anybody,
no,
but he's just
do
not.
do not discount Okan till you see everything he can do. I'm
Okay.
letting you know because
He
I don't know if
actually
Phil
did
saw that.
wrestling
I don't know
in
if
high
I
school.
don't know if Phil got to see that match, but do you know the one I'm talking about, Phil?
Oh yeah, the amateur wrestling match.
Not the one with Lord Pants where they were going through all the one where he fought ZSJ and Okan was in the shorts and started wrestling like ZSJ. The whole I was like, look at this. I was like, holy fuck. Okay, Okan ain't trash no more. Well,
Plus,
he
I'm
ain't
hearing
just
a 10-year-old girl from a pedophile.
yeah. Oh, Mike wasn't involved at the time. There was I don't know what part of
It was
Japan they
about
were
2
in.
years back. It was in
There
Tokyo.
were okay, it was in Tokyo. There was this old guy who was drunk and he was pulling on this underage girl, and Okan straight up detained the guy. The Tokyo police presented Okan. I have the picture with a plaque like hero of the people and small children. Like
And
Okan took that guy and paralyzed him, and they arrested the guy for like trying to assault the girl. Okan was like sit on.
hero of the people and children biscuits.
Yes, he is the hero of the people and small children and biscuits. He loves his biscuits. Yeah.
According
But
to
yeah, Okan was a national hero a couple years back.
Dude, in my opinion, he's still a national hero for that.
all hail.
But, dude, Great Okan, I want to see that match between him and the KO Bros. I want to see that match.
Even MJF says, I don't like the MJ in New Japan Pro Wrestling, but I like the Great Okan.
Yeah. He was all over the place when but he just happened to be in the right place at the right time. And that old drunk man, he wasn't going nowhere after Elcon put a hand on him. So
Hell
that
yeah.
was the end of it. And that little girl was saved uninjured, short of the man pulling on her arm to try to get her to go where he wanted her to.
That's awesome. That is fucking brilliant.
Yeah. So we got us all of that. You will see. I don't know when. You're gonna get Okan and Hinari because they never lost. Hinari got injured, damn near died. They had bad health issue, but they never lost the tag belts. They had to forfeit them, so they are gonna be one of those top two teams that they may be the ones that take out the kill. We're gonna see, but it's gonna happen. I guarantee you. Well, I don't know if we have to wait a year. I don't know if we have to wait till Wrestle Kingdom. We're definitely gonna see him. We're gonna see him touching the World Tag League at the end of the year. You'll definitely see that, but it's gonna happen. The question is who's going to come out of that one.
Now, the next match on the card was Athena versus Sari. And dude,
this was good. We knew Athena was going to be good.
Dude, she's never lost. She's held that title forever. Over 3,000 days.
She's held the Ring of Honor Women's Championship for almost 3 years now.
Yeah, that's going to be her crowning achievement. She's going to be the longest ever female Ring of Honor. That's going to be Athena's crowning.
Ring of Honor World Champion.
Yeah, that's what Athena's going to end up as. That's going to be her accolade. But how great! We both knew both of these women could go in. They're both pros. How good was this match? And the storytelling in it with the arm and how good was this?
Man, dude.
You have a legit. Both are legit wrestling veterans, especially Suri with her MMA UFC background.
Mm-hmm. And in my opinion, I really thought that Suri was. I even told this in the chat too. I was like, I think Athena's going to win this match. Remember? Everybody's like, no, it ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen. I was wanting it to because it could set up another match between her and what was her name?
Suri.
No, the other chick, the other one, that Kami Watanabe or whatever her name is.
Yeah, she's taking a little time away right now though, but she's gonna heal up and she'll be back. If she comes back not before too long, where she could qualify for this year for the wrestling list. If not, get ready for her on the next year's wrestling list.
Kamatani, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be on the lookout for. She will be. A big deal.
I heard some videos of her doing modeling. It was so weird seeing her out of her Dark Phoenix persona. She was in a more cute modeling look. It was kind of weird seeing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does have the dark image going, but get one of these days or one of these years, she is going to be Japan's #1 woman. It's just a matter of time.
I
It's
think they're
coming.
just they're building her to become. I have a feeling she's gonna leave hate and become a babyface again.
Well,
I know.
they could save that for later because she's not boring, right? And now her being away is just going to make people love her more when she
She's kind
comes
of a
back.
tweener right now in stardom.
Yeah.
Her being away, she's going to get the treatment Jericho wishes he could get in AEW, but he's going to go to WWE and get. Her being away is going to make people when she comes back, everyone's going to be excited, real excited, and she's going to put on some
Also,
bangers.
it's very old school, like symphonic metal.
Yeah, she has her own. She has her own aura about her and her own. Kind of like how Stephanie McClure has her own atmosphere about her. Even a Thekla has her own atmosphere. This girl has her own character that's very different from everybody else in Japan. She stands out, but she's also great in the ring. The question is, does she come back within a month soon enough to qualify for this year's like 2026 wrestling, the awards, or does she come back the second half of the year and build, and then the next year we see her at that #2 or #3 spot on a list of top 500 wrestlers in the world? That's the only question here is when and time.
Yeah, because dude, her time is coming,
Oh yeah,
and I am a big fan of her. Now, the Athena match, the only thing I had to take away from this match, in my personal opinion, was like you said, there was a lot of moves focused on Athena's left arm.
I like that
I
storytelling.
liked it. I loved it. The only bad thing about it is at the end of the match, whenever she lost and she tapped out, and then she rolls out of the ring to get her title, and then Sri yanks it, looks at it.
Well, wait, you're missing something that led up to that. Suri tried to be like good match and shake her hand first, and old girl swatted it away. So then she's like, "Oh, you don't want to be cool? Oh, let's see that ROH title." Which that to me, that's going to lead to them fighting again for the RH title and Athena getting her win back. That's how I feel about that.
I do too. I really do. I think I'm run this back.
Yeah,
And dude, I can't wait. I
I
can't
think.
wait.
And that'll be on either an RH show or a pay per view. You'll get that match. That's not bad at all, and I don't mind. I think that's the perfect way to go about it. That'll give Athena her win back. She's still going to be her champ of her deal. They'll kind of be even. Maybe when Athena gets the win, she'll reach out the hand, and they'll be like, "All right, now we even," and they'll be cool. But good. I appreciated the storytelling big time because I said she's going after the arm. That means Athena's losing. They're giving us a reason to beat Athena legit and not piss us off. And I total respect for the match, the people, the title. No complaints from me. No complaints.
It was a good match. Like I
And
said, it wasn't my favorite. Wasn't my favorite.
right. And Athena did not do any sports entertainment pandering to the crowd. There was no ridiculous hollering or she treated it like it was a dangerous match and she was in trouble and she had to win. I really like that. That was not into the more AEW or even RH or WWE style of. No, you didn't need that. You didn't have to tell the crowds a damn thing. They're watching you in this match and they're excited.
And the
Yeah.
crazy thing is, you mentioned something I want to talk about. The whole card had none of the come on, chant for us, cheer for us. None of that happened. None of that. No hype man, no beating on the mat, no yay, 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 none of that. Because the crowd was already doing it. The crowd
Yeah.
was already into the matches. Like whenever you had Jordan Oliver and Alec Price versus El Desperado and Kushida, Oliver's on the ring. He ain't yelling for the crowd to come on, come on, come on. He's yelling for the Alec Price to tag him, and the crowd is chanting. The crowd is chanting, and he's like, "Yeah, tag me, tag me." And then he finally reaches out and tags Jordan Oliver, and Jordan Oliver gets in the ring, and the crowd erupted.
There's,
Then
there's,
whenever, dude, it
there's
was
nothing.
crazy.
There's nothing better than a crowd that's truly invested. There's only one thing better than a crowd that's truly invested, and that's when you're that hardcore of a fan that you know everybody on the card, and you're like, it doesn't matter who wins or loses. We're getting a banger like that old NXT style in the head. It doesn't matter who wins or loses. We the fans are gonna win every single time, and that was the atmosphere of the whole fucking show. And I love that. That's a winner. That's a 5-star winner.
And the next match was the main event. And this right here I had a problem with. This is the match I had the worst problem with because my match of the night by far, I had two of them: Oleg, Tomohiro Ishii,
And Takeshita.
ELP, Takeshita. Nothing touches these. This match came close, but it failed at the very end. And I'll tell you why. Because you have Andrade versus Yota Tsuji. When they both get in the ring, the crowd is deafening. Like, it's quiet. There's no chanting or anything. But when they get face to face in the middle of the ring, the crowd pops.
Once you hit the bell hits in the main event of a New Japan show, they explode the minute the bell goes before they touch. That's just respect. That's appreciating New Japan coming to the States. That's the fans saying thank you. They do it every time. The minute that bell rings after everybody's been checked and introductions are done, they're going to stand there. This is a 60-minute match. They know they got to pace themselves. That crowd is going to explode the minute that opening bell starts. That's what's going to happen.
But we got to give a shout out to Honky Tonk's son, Honky Jr., with gold shoes.
That ref.
You got to admit it, though, man. Gold Shoes was there for the whole show, man. Gold Shoes did his damn thing, man. Honky Tonk Jr. was there. I know that's not his real name, but we're going to go with Gold Shoes as Honky Tonk Jr. Honky Tonk Man's son.
Yeah.
But he was the referee in the main event. And whenever Andrade was doing all the moves, most of the match for Andrade, his offense was on the outside of the ring. The inside of the ring was mainly tailored to Yota Tsuji. And
Right.
Tsuji was very, very methodical.
Right, which is great because that's the way you're supposed to wrestle a New Japan main event. That's why I said Takeshita earned the respect. He wrestled that style in the main event at Wrestle Kingdom, and I said, okay, win, lose, or draw, he's over now. He proved you could do the main event style. Tsuji is really mastering that very quickly and doing a very good job. The other thing is Andrade, you either like him or he's kind of tweener. Tsuji's a face right now, so Tsuji had to be in the ring and less heel or I'm out of desperation throw you in the ring, the barricade. So it made sense.
But his alter ego, Philip Marlowe Jr., however, was a heel.
So look at Shingo's. When Shingo was away on family emergency and his alter ego was in there.
Hexus Guerrero.
Yeah. Never seen that man pick up a chair and get ugly like that.
Do it in the ring, dude. Do it in the ring.
Never seen that before. But well, keep going about how you felt about the main event.
Well, the main event, when it fell off was whenever Andrade was going for the rollabout to pick him up and then do the arm drag from the ring, and it didn't land proper. And you could tell right then and there, I was like, something's fixing to give. And Andrade went to the top rope, and Yota Tsuji took over. And that's how Yota Tsuji got the pin. And because it went secondary finisher to finisher, and then the match was over. And it went 25 minutes. Almost 27 minutes. It was 3.5 hours long pay-per-view. And at the end of the match, you got a big, big heartfelt congratulations from Yota Tsuji.
Yeah.
And then
we got to hear Tsuji speak some English to us.
And that was very cool.
It was.
And to me personally, that's going to look at the big two promotions here in the States. And they're going to go, he said what in English? He can talk English? Check mark.
Yeah, and New Japan is trying to get into that mode of, they've done it for a while since Okada, where your main champ has to be able to speak some English to be able to relate to the fans. They did it with Okada, and we were all like, hey, he's getting pretty good. His English is pretty good.
Yeah.
Like better than Okada's.
Yes. Takeshita can speak some English very well.
Yeah, but Takesha's had English friends, and he's been all over. I can understand Takeshita being able to speak English.
Yeah.
Yota Tsuji went to an excursion in Mexico and North America, and he played. And also, I think he studied English in high school too. Plus,
it makes sense.
Football.
It makes sense though, because he does speak it pretty well considering his young age.
Mm-hmm.
Well, don't forget also he did play American football too in high school, so I think I think he wanted to try out for the NFL possibly when he was younger.
Well, it all works in his favor because he impressed me. I thought we were going to hear some very broken English. We did not. I could understand everything he said. He might be. I don't know where Nakamura is in modern day. He might speak better English than Nakamura
Nakamura don't speak no English on WWE TV.
on TV, but in real life, he was working on it and do because
Yeah.
Vince was like, "You can't speak English," you know. But
But
yeah, I was. He handled it like being the champ and the boss and sitting about at home professionally. He wrestled. He's wrestling those big time long main events. I'm wondering if that wasn't set up that Andrade, because New Japan will do where moves half ass and be like, oh, he missed. They will set that kind of shit up. I'm wondering if maybe Andrade got gassed at the end and they were like, all right, I'm done. Let's wrap it up. Because I've watched Suji over and over, and Suji don't get gas. He was trained not to get gas. That's
Guys, I really need to go to sleep, guys. I'm just about to crash.
all right. Well, you're not gonna do the New Japan Cup pick'ems.
we can do that tomorrow night.
How long? Where are we at on the time, Mike?
2 hours.
We're into.
We're
What?
hour and 50 minutes. Hour and 50 minutes.
All right. Well, we're gonna wrap it up in the next 10 minutes. All right. All right. We'll do the cup tomorrow, Phil.
All right. So
Good night,
if you
guys.
guys start doing Ringside Riot, you guys are doing life wrong.
There you are. We finally got it for Phil, and me and Josh didn't have to. Yeah, you're doing life wrong, brother.
Love you, brother. Be good, man. Have a good night.
All right, Phil.
Love you guys. See you tomorrow night.
Yep.
See you tomorrow night.
Oh God.
All right.
He called me God. You heard that, didn't you? Didn't you hear him call me God?
Lies.
Phil, what was your rating on the show? Final rating.
10 out of 10.
Wow.
Phil gives The New Beginning, live from New Jersey, 2026, a 10 out of 10. High marks right there. High marks.
What'd you give it there, Jordan?
It was great. That's all I can say. So
I had the fortune of watching all of Fantastica Mania this year, so that's gonna be hard. And that's a whole series, but that was so damn good. But I think I'm gonna have to. Mike, do you remember if I gave all of Fantastica Mania a 9 or a 10?
I think you gave it a 9.
If I gave it a 9, I have to give this show. I have to go lower, even though it's a single show. The tag match, I kind of bothered, and the order of where the TV match wasn't between the two junior matches. It kind of took me out a little bit, but that happens to me with any wrestling show. That's why I told you Fantastic Mania was so good, I never got taken out like that, and that hasn't happened in years.
You had at least 3 good 5-star matches on that show.
Yeah. Oh, what show?
Fantastica Mania.
Oh, I'll go on 4 or 5.
Really?
Yeah. A few of the main events, plus that three-way that went to the no time limit.
That was awesome.
That I'm adding in with about 4 of the main events.
Well, one of the main events I didn't really care for, and that was the one on the very last night. I didn't care for it.
All right.
Because my guy didn't go over. So I was very unimpressed.
Right. Due to it being on U.S. soil, which normally we don't get the best New Japan shows like that, but we got AEW time, but we didn't have all hands on deck New Japan style. So due to not having a couple of the big, Shingo would have been welcome for this show. I'm trying to think of a few people that we didn't get that we have over in the we didn't see Shooter for this. Or
you have Show or Yo.
Or showing you, they're not going to see House of Torture probably in America Strong, but we didn't. There's a few people we didn't get to see that I wouldn't have mind seeing. Plus that one little down period for me in the tag match and the two junior matches blending, feeling almost too big versus watching a junior tournament. I'm going to go an 8.
Okay.
I'm going to give it
a 9 in the chat, and I went back and watched it again because that's what I do. I do go back and rewatch the shows, and I nitpick more than what I should have. I'm going to have to give it a 7.5. Because
I was debating between 7 and 8.
Because of the fact I give it a 7.5 was because of some of the lackluster moments in the matches, and the dead filler where there was no ads and nothing else. It was just dead space. And they're like, no, there wasn't really dead space. There was a lot of dead space because at the end of the match, you had the guys walking to the back, and there was no announcements, no nothing. The only thing you had on the screen was Chicago, Windy City Riot, G1.
And normally Walker and Chris talk over that when they're together.
Yeah, and you didn't have no talking over it. And that's all you got. So I
Yeah.
gave it a 7.5 because of not presentation, not production, just because there was a lot of dead air.
All right.
Some of the matches didn't flow like they should have, but all in all, I think it was better show than anything I've seen on TV. With the exception of some of the AEW shows, because some of the AEW stuff is getting better. Most people are like,
Uh,
"Oh man, it sucks. It's just throwing together matches." They actually have actual meanings now. The 5-on-5 was actually storytelling for another main event. They were picking parts of the, putting people in the matches to build up the bigger feuds.
mhm.
TNA, on the other hand, I have not been impressed with it all this year. WWE is it started off high, and then you hit Royal Rumble, including Royal Rumble, into now. Even in Elimination Chamber has been a dud. The only high fight I seen was there was a man in a box, and it was Danhausen, and Danhausen didn't get the respect that he deserved at his debut. And so far with WWE, it's been very, very, very shitty because you have injuries, you have a lot of no build up to WrestleMania, you have a lot of feuds that don't fucking matter. Like
Yeah.
you have Logan Paul versus
They
Seth
are
Rollins now at
they are
Mania,
so coasting over there. It's ridiculous.
and they're hoping that that match against Seth Rollins would have been against Braun Breaker, but then they thought, oh, okay, we can do Bronson Reed versus Seth Rollins. Oh, now we got to do Logan Paul versus Seth Rollins, and we all know that's like their third choice.
Hmm.
Ain't their first, it's not their second, it's their third choice.
Yeah.
Now that being said, to me personally, that right there just screams, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What the
I'm gonna. WWE is like one step away from dead. Even all the money they're making, and they're just coasting. The build is horrible for Mania. The Rumble wasn't even good. Them. I've lost faith many times, but they're not. They are nowhere near where they were last year. AEW. I'm gonna wait and listen to the reports after Revolution, and then I want Double or Nothing to happen, and then I will reassess AEW after Double or Nothing. They may, if I give them a
you
few
need to watch.
months and these shows to turn it around, we'll see.
You need to start watching AEW, dude. I'm telling you.
Well, I'm gonna give them that period, like, and let them go to Double or Nothing, and then reassess, and that's gonna make my decision on whether I watch Forbidden Door this year or not. And then,
You should watch AEW television.
bro, if anything, I should be buying CMLL and Stardom to go with my New Japan. That's what I should be doing. I should be watching CMLL every Tuesday, and I should have Stardom because both of those are better than anything else going on short of New Japan. But I don't have time for it all. I just don't have
And then
time.
and this morning, me and Jordan had a big debate because we're talking about A-list promotions, B-list promotions, C-list promotions, and D-list promotions. Now, I want to hear everybody else's opinion on this. A promotions, in my personal opinion, is WWE, AEW, and New Japan. B-list promotions, in my opinion, are TNA. That's it, because there's nothing else that can borderline with another television product. Now, C-list promotions are GCW, JCW, New South, Wrestling Revolver, House of Glory. Those are my 5 C-list promotions. And now D-list promotions are like local indies and
Yeah,
NWA.
yeah, yeah. The only
Those
one
are,
I'll disagree, and I don't like it. I'm disagreeing out of protest. Um, as much as I don't, I would like to go back to the day when the A was WWE, New Japan, and AEW, but unfortunately, with the dollar revenue and the views and the streaming, and I don't like it, but I almost have to put WWE by himself and then put New Japan and AEW in the B. But I really don't like it. I don't like that. I would rather put. They are the 3 top promotions in the world. There's no way around that. Before AEW, New Japan was a distant second, but they were the easy second place in the world. And they used to show, they would do a stream live, and they would show their financials for the year and have some young lions wrestle and show about their growth and the plans and what's to come. They would do that every year until AEW became a thing. And AEW didn't really turn a profit until like year 2 or 3 because Tony Khan was putting money in, you know. And I knew once he had the TV deal and a year passed, there would be some income. So we knew what was gonna happen. But now, I mean, yes, it bought and paid for, yeah, but they are the 3 big ones in the world, whether anybody likes it or not. The worst thing any wrestling fan can do is only watch WWE and pretend nothing else exists. That's the worst thing you can do as a fan. You're cheating yourself and you're lying to yourself. That's the worst thing you could do. is
And the
pretend.
second thing is, if you're an AEW shill or AEW sicko, and all you watch is AEW and not watching WWE, you're also fucking yourself because there's other promotions that exist, even though
Yeah,
you don't
yeah.
want to admit it.
You cannot like one of the two big ones, but there's plenty of other shit out there that is good. You
Mhm.
have New Japan is as Mike has never missed a New Japan show yet this year since we started Wrestle Kingdom, and he's like, man, they're cooking this year. We're both impressed with CMLL on how great they're coming along and they're growing and becoming more productive.
And they have
Uh,
signed deals with MLW, Major League Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling,
they're
House
willing
of
to partner with
Glory.
everybody.
I mean,
Everybody
dude,
that they can't partner with WWE, obviously, but
this is
everybody else, CMLL is more than willing to. Sure, sure, sure. Everybody, from the partnership of AEW New Japan on down, they're like, hell yeah. Well, if they get a chance to go to the UK and do Rev Pro, they will.
hell yeah, dude. And I have big, heartfelt congratulations for anything that CMLL is doing because of what they did in New Japan. Every fan in attendance was wearing either a freaking luchador mask
It was
or
awesome.
holding a freaking Mexican flag.
Yeah.
And they're not even in Mexico, bro.
No.
To me, that was just fan fucking tastic.
It's like it's like Mardi Gras. It's a carnival for a week where they get to celebrate and they appreciate Mexico for coming. I'm waiting for the day CML's big enough where they can invite New Japan down there for a week. I'm waiting for that day when that. Well, I know they don't have that. Well, now they're making more revenue than ever. But at one point, CMLL was. That's why they would let their people go rest. Not AAA, but they would let people go to Tony Khan because there was no money to be made. That's what That's why Stephanie got out of there.
Yeah, she left to go to WWE.
Yeah, she
And
knows
there's
where the
still
money's at.
and there's still people going to jump ship from AEW to WWE and WWE to AEW.
Oh
There's
yeah,
also people going to get fired from WWE and go to New Japan. The same way with AEW, they're going to go to New Japan.
yeah.
But and there's TNA in that mix too, but TNA isn't on that echelon yet.
They
As you
they
know,
they need to get their butts in gear because I was really ready to give them credit. They bought a TV deal. They had guaranteed money. They could bring people in. There's no growth since that. Short of since the TV deal started.
they haven't hired nobody but Elena Black, dude.
Yeah,
And none of them count. I don't
that
count.
is that is messed up. They may get worse promotion of the year if they don't improve it.
Dude, how in the hell do you go from having nobody in the seats their very first show to where they're at now? And their last pay per view was really solid, dude. You had Jelly Roll in attendance. You had really great matches. That's what I'm looking forward to at Sacrifice, man. It's
I
really
hope,
great matches.
I hope because
I'm
we're
hoping,
gonna be clowning our asses off doing our own commentary if we don't get good matches.
bro. I'm telling you, man. And because I'm a huge fan. I used to be, well, as you know, I am a huge TNA mark. And
Yeah.
there's reasons
You
behind
were
that.
there. You were there. That was part of you were part of the company at one time.
I love TNA.
Yeah,
And
and I always pulled for them to do good. The problem is you have to put out some effort to do good. They gotta build this roster up and fix this TV because they might be getting views, but they ain't doing nothing special. They're becoming a letdown here. Like they are gonna be if they keep this up for the rest of until November or October when they stop the voting, they're gonna be nowhere near my top five promotions, let alone top 10. They will be nowhere near it.
I'm hoping this pay per view lets us all see, for example, where we're headed with TNA in the next 6 to 8 months to a year, if they last that long on AMC Plus, which we know they will because they're actually increasing the ratings.
Yeah,
But
watching because it's on television. The casuals are tuning in and that don't know about the other wrestling are not willing to go through what or the little extra effort to watch what we watch, and they don't know any better. They got
and, then, and let me explain this too. There's several streaming services out there that people need to be aware of. One of them is Triller TV Plus, where you get GCW, House of Glory, Wrestling Revolver, and other shit for free if you pay the $5 or $7.99.
plenty of smaller companies and indies. There's plenty of wrestling on Triller that you could, which is the old Fight TV. But there's
Yeah.
plenty of wrestling if you're into indie type stuff.
And then there's IWTV, which is Independent Wrestling Television. You got New South. You have um, a lot of other people on that channel, a lot of other indies on that channel.
Right.
And
And
I
you
mean,
also have the CMLO has fixed their streaming deal where you don't have to pay $1 million on YouTube. It's more affordable now. And they have a weekly television show plus their big shows. The only problem there is I don't believe they have English commentary yet. So if that doesn't bother someone like me, that can bother the regular viewer. And the same goes for Stardom. They almost never have English commentary until it's dubbed. But Stardom's a great promotion for $6, $7. You and these women really, it's all women, but it's the number one women's fighting in the world.
And if you have a problem with the commentary, guess what? There's a mute button.
Yeah, and New Japan has English almost all the. Some of the smaller shows won't have English, but the majority of everything, including everything big, their regular shows, you got English. So all you
Like
have to do is hit the button.
Fantastic Mania for the first 4 nights, you didn't get any English. You had to
That,
have
that
Japanese.
was only because Walker was going to do the show we just talked about, the new beginning, and he came for the week to come visit and all. But normally we do have English nowadays. For the past 3 or 4 years, we have because for a couple of years you only got 2 nights of Fantasticmania, small venue, maybe 50 people, and no English. Today, look at what Fantasticmania has become. It's a celebration in Japan.
That's a Mardi Gras celebration.
And
And
how about the ending of Fantasticmania? All the love that all those guys came out together. The crowd refused to leave. Everybody's just celebrating together. It was a big love fest.
Mystico was out there hanging out with the crowd and showing hands. You had Masquerado out there kissing babies, shaking hands. You even had Soberano Jr. going around getting kisses, and he even got kissed by a guy on the cheek, and he was like, "Wait," he did this to the guy, and the guy just sat there and did this to him. It was very cool, man. It was very, very relaxed atmosphere, and it was very well done.
And all of the New Japan talent that was in it came out, and they were putting
They
on
embraced,
celebrating, hugging. There was plenty of sportsmanship after matches, plenty of we're cool with each other. A lot of that, there was a big respect love fest. It was a great atmosphere. It was a great series, a great week of wrestling.
yeah, and by far one of the greatest series of events that happened this year. And I wish that
So far, I mean,
other companies would take that and do something like that.
you got
Now,
to be willing to not put yourself. You got to be willing to be respectful, like New Japan, and not put yourself first. You got to be willing and you see, you're not going to get that from a WWE or an AEW. The closest you ever got to that in WWE was the UK tournament where Michael Cole did the best wrestling calls of his life because he didn't have Vince in his ear, and we got Pete Dunne fighting what's his name, and that was a great series of shows. The first ever UK tournament and all that over there, that was good and something for the people. Of course, they're trying to break into that market. This was just a thank you and inviting CMLL to Japan, letting them celebrate and wrestle, and letting the Japanese fans get to see the CMLL talent. This wasn't a money making scheme as much as a celebration. But we saw the crowds; they were packed and they were loving it.
it was very well done. It was very well done.
Yeah,
And
great to
this,
see where they've grown from what it used to be, or lack thereof, to what it is today. That's a great progression to see. I'm telling you, it was one step away from Cockfight Arena. Like when it started, there were basketball goals and rundown gyms that didn't look, and 50 people if you were lucky, and 2 nights with no English to see what it was missable. And today, that's the best thing I've seen all year was that week of wrestling.
Hechicero is amazing, dude.
Yeah,
He put
yeah, it
over
was good
some people.
shit. Good
He put
shit.
over a
Good
lot
shit.
of people.
But yeah, that's going to be hard to beat my list this year for best series or best tour. That's going to be hard to beat. That week of Fantastica Mania was what a way to kick off the year after Wrestle Kingdom and New Year's Dash.
But, ladies and gentlemen, it comes to that time of the evening where we show shit that Jordan buys every week.
Maybe not every week, but yeah, new shit that I haven't shown yet. And
New
yes,
shit,
I do
dude.
have. I have stuff. I have stuff.
You
It's gonna
had
be.
stuff.
I got stuff. And yeah, this week we're gonna do. It's gonna be a little bit of everything, but in vinyl. We're only gonna be full length albums this week.
Hold on, let me make you big if I can.
Oh, he's gonna make me big. I gotta eat the mushroom and be like Mario. All right. All right. What we got here? Okay, we're gonna start with. I don't know why I spent this. I talked him down a little bit, but I ended up doing it. Was it? Is it because it's sealed? Yes, it is. Okay, that's why I paid 55 for this fucker. But yeah, he was. This was sealed for $65, but I paid 55. This is a 2021 RSP exclusive, pink with black splatter vinyl. But this is
Hold on. It's a record store day exclusive.
no. This is a record. This is a RSP.
What does that mean?
I'm not exactly sure. RSP would be. Is that the late? Let me see. 2021 RSP. That's not, it wouldn't be record store pressing. That's it's not a record store date. But anyway, this is Joey Ramone's solo album, sealed. All right.
Nice.
Yeah, it's Don't Worry About Me. It's Joey Ramone's sealed album from is this thing gonna give you, let me see. Let me see. They got 2021 written here. This has 2002 written here. Sanctuary Records.
I
So
can
I'm not
find
too
out for you, Joey Malone. Let me
do
find
what?
out. Let me find out
Find out what?
when it was done. Where's the
Well,
name of
this
that?
when he did this, the original solo album, that was
It was in the
back in the
70s, wasn't it?
80s, I think. He tried to
80s?
do a solo album on the side of the Ramones running along. But okay, this was made. Okay, this is Record Store Day. This is. You look at that. I've got the sticker. Limited edition pink and black splatter vinyl to celebrate Joey's 70th birthday, which he's gone, of course. But so this was a Record Store Day by BMG. I don't know why they wrote RSP. Maybe this was a reserve for Record Store Day. I don't understand that, but either way, I went ahead and bought it for 55. I've heard it's not that the greatest thing he ever did, but I was like, you know what? I want that. You know
It's
what
the
I'm saying?
Ramones. It's the Ramones.
Yeah, I was like, I want that. Okay, right here. Ooh, I finally got one for a good price. He wanted $40 for this fucking thing, and it's a vintage, but this is, yeah, I paid 30 for this. I wanted it a couple times and he wanted too much for it, like 45 and up. And so I finally got my Neil Young and Crazy Horse live Rust. So
Nice.
yeah, this is the live one. It's not, I have the one with the big speakers. That ain't the one. This is, it's a legendary live album and then plugged in and tearing it up. So I was like, you know what? Give me that. I need it. I need it. I need it. Then we're gonna get into this. I did not know who this was, so I rushed and I ran. I went and looked them up, and I was like, I like the sound of that. And the minute they yelled stoner rock, I'm kind of like, hey, you're getting into my territory here. But this is blues rock, stoner rock. It's kind of groovy, kind of Sabbathy, but it was only $20. So I went and looked them up, and I was like, that shit sounds good. But anyway, the name of the band is Pearls and Brass, and the album is The Indian Tower.
That's an old ass album.
It's not that old. This band was this came out in 05.
Oh,
This was mixed 905 in yeah, it's not an ancient one, but it's a lot of these bands try to do, they're all into the 70s, the stoner bands, but it's clean singing with like groovy like hard rock. I think you could actually get down to that, Mike. And then we got, let's see here, what we're gonna show. All right, we'll show this next. What did I pay for this? Oh, that's really what I paid? Okay. Yeah, this thing was normally selling for $50. It's in like mint condition. It was open, but still in cellophane. This is the 2 LP set of the last thing Pink Floyd ever did a few years ago, The Endless River,
nice.
which this David Gilmour and on drums. Oh shit, what the hell's his name? Can't think of his name right. Because Richard Wright had died, the keyboard player. And so they were like, well, we have this leftover material with stuff. We could arrange it and put it out. So there's only one song with words. The rest of it's all stuff they had done the last three guys. Because Roger Waters never would return to the band. Nick Mason. So what they did was him and Nick went in the studio, did a couple of things, did some organizing. And I got it for 33, this says. So I went ahead and picked it up because I needed it. But there's a really great song on here that Louder Than Words that David Gilmour sings on that they did with a music video. It's really good shit. But anyway, it's more of a listening. It's the final Pink Floyd album. There will be no more new material from them ever. All right, then this is gonna make you happy right here.
This is gonna make me happy.
Yeah, you're gonna like this. I'm gonna show it, then I'm gonna explain what it is. But he was asking 95 for this. The real legitimate box set of this goes for like 128 or 130. I
This
ended
is
up,
the unofficial.
yeah, this is unofficial, but it comes from an era, the worst era when there was almost no vinyl. He dropped it down to 75, and I said, "Give me one." And two people in the chat said, "I have versions of that. It's the sound quality is perfect."
Smashing Pumpkins, Melancholy, and Infinite Sadness. Great album.
Yeah, it's all the three on. Let me see. I think it's on 3 vinyls, but yeah, it comes from that. It's this is sealed, by the way, too. The guy had 4 of them in his collection of these. Yeah, he had 4 of them in his collection, and they're actually bootlegs, but they're sealed and all new. And I said, if it sounds just like the real deal, I'm like, I don't need to have the expensive one for 130 and up. I'm like, I'll for 75, I'll do it. And I said, and Mike can be mad at me because I
I
he
can be
likes
mad
him.
at you.
He likes him some pumpkins.
I
So
do like the
I was like, Mike's gonna enjoy me showing that album more than the other guys.
Yeah, you know what? We're gonna listen to that when we come over. We're gonna
Whew.
make you break it open, bro.
Can't break it open. He says it's gonna be a while till I break that open. You know, I've got over 100 that I haven't got to. All right, and this is gonna be the final Coleco one. Then I have something special to show. But I've been needing this album. One time I had it in the auction, and the power went out for them in Tennessee, and I lost it. But finally, I've got a vintage. This is a 1984 USOG Allied pressing. It includes the inner sleeve, near mint minus. I paid $40 for it, but it's Dio.
Can't go
It's
wrong with Dio, man.
the last in line, the second album. Yeah,
Yeah,
so you've got this is still with Vivian on guitar. This is the one with We Rocks on here. The last in line is on here, and I think I'm missing one more big song. Let me flip this over. I can't think of it right now, but pretty sure there's one more. What's the other song on this fucker? It might be though just those two, but anyway, I have Holy Diver and I have Sacred
Holy
Heart. So
diver.
this is the 3 albums that had Vivian on them, like the 3 like massive ones. So my Dio collection is good. That's another one off the books. And we're gonna end with this. I got tired of you can't get the vintage of this costs so much fucking money. Like the other night, one went for 150. I was like, you know what? I said, let me go look online. I went. I said, I don't need a vintage of this band. I'm just trying to get all their albums. I just want them to sound good. This thing is sealed right here, fucking, and includes bonus tracks. There's a side 3. They included an extra EP, and it's early versions of the songs and stuff that wasn't supposed to be released. So I pretty much have it in good sound quality, sealed and all, and I paid like $40 for it. It's Soundgarden Ultra Mega OK.
Oh wow, dude.
Yeah, that's one of the hardest ones to get. To find a vintage of that in good condition goes for hundreds. I just got this bitch sealed for 4. I'm like, all my other ones are new. What the hell? So now I'm only missing King Animal, which that I can get easy, and I'll be done with Soundgarden, short of the new album that's going to be getting released. We're going to get one final Soundgarden album with all new tracks with Chris singing because they finally got their deal done with the wife. They're going to finish what they got to do in the studio, but we're getting 7 or 8 new Soundgarden. It'll be the final Soundgarden album. So once I grab King Animal, that'll be all of those on vinyl. So another band knocked off the good old chart.
Off the bucket list.
Yep.
Nice, nice, nice. So yeah, he got me into Discogs, and I was looking at different things and different things. And if anybody doesn't know, Rage Against the Machine is my favorite band of all time. I went and seen them in concert. I was going to go see them twice whenever I was in the Air Force, and I was going to travel down to California to watch them and the Beastie Boys. And then that's when they had to pull off the concert tour, and that's whenever the Beastie Boys had cancer and didn't make another tour after that. And so I never got to see Rage Against the Machine live again, and I never got to see Beastie Boys live. So yeah, that's my favorite band of all time. My second thing, like for like a person, and I just realized today that Trent Reznor, after this whole tour is over, they may never tour again. Seriously. Yeah, after because he said Trent Reznor came out on an interview and said after this trek is done, he don't know if he's ever going to tour again.
Wow, I might have to. Well, he'll probably do a farewell, but he might just be saying that. I know he's so busy with soundtracks these days and making all his money. I don't know if he might not even have to tour, but I'm sure he'll do a. And if he does that, I'm gonna have to go. But Monica, I know your favorite is Siamese Dream. That's 10. I love that album too, but there's one problem. You have no idea how expensive the repress of that sealed is. Like $60 for Siamese Dream. It's insane because it's that era when they just didn't. 2% of the population still used and listened to vinyl. It was 1993 when that album came out. So one of these days, I'm gonna if I could get one for 45 or less, I might. But sealed represses of that album is like $55-$60. It's insane.
Dude, their Smashing Pumpkins had remember Gish?
Oh yeah, I actually picked up one for like $20. I got a Gish.
Yeah, those are hard to come by because that's a 1991 release from Caroline Records. That was probably their very first big album. And then they had Moon, which was on a cassette that was self-released in 1989. That's the only you could get it. And
You had the low EP.
well, the Lowell EP is different, man. That's totally different.
That still came out before Siamese Dream, before they blew up.
Yeah.
The Siamese Dream with the videos, that's when they really started. They didn't blow up with Gish. Siamese Dream with
No.
the music videos is what got them over. And then Melancholy just pushed them over the edge, and they were like Rock Album of the Year and Rock
Do
Song
you
of the Year.
remember
And everything.
Euphoria? Do you remember Euphoria?
That was all after. That was after they, because after
No. That came out in 1994, bro.
there was, because they have the Pieces of Scariot album. The only thing they had official you could get was Gish, the Lull EP, Siamese Dream, Pieces of Scariot, and then
PC Scary was
Melancholy.
an EP too. PC's Scary was an EP too.
It's not an EP, it's a full length album.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's a full length album. I have it. It's a full length. It was all B-sides and rarities, but it's pretty
Lowell
long.
was an EP.
EP's under 30 minutes. That's an extended play. So an EP is longer than a single. An LP is a long play. That's over anything over 30 minutes.
Yeah. And you said it was PC's Scary. You know, they don't even have that listed on Discogs.
I think I just bought that from Chad in one of these last boxes, dude. I'm not sure if I did or I didn't.
I'm serious. I'm being dead honest with you. I'm looking on Discogs right now. There is nothing about that album. I'm telling you got
Monica, what's the tax after the $40? Is it $15? Is it 20? Like, what's the tax? Because you got to look at shipping and then tax and add all that in. You can't just go 40. You might be, and then it depends on if you can get it from in this part of the world. Some of them, they're like, nope, can't send it. Like Discogs, nope, we can't send it to the U.S. Not doing it, not paying it.
Pieces of Scary was a compilation.
Yeah.
That's what they have it listed as, a compilation.
That's what it is. It's a collection of B-sides, covers, and rarities.
Yeah. And wow, bro.
Oh, if you found an original vinyl of that, the price is going to be sky high.
Well, I'm looking at it right here. Original.
Because that was in the year that came out. That's why all those represses today are so high from the early 90s, because it just, vinyl just
very
wasn't.
rare Brazilian press, collector item, great condition, hard to find, Brazilian edition. $40.09 from Brazil. That's with taxes and everything, shipping and everything.
I wonder who pressed the thing you'd have to find out is who pressed that in Brazil, if it sounds like shit or not, because the quality's already not good on that.
Yeah. Here goes a reissue.
So it's on Amazon. So you're looking at, if you're not an Amazon Prime member, you're looking at about $10 added to that 40. You're looking at about a shipping of $4.95 and a tax of $4.95. So you're back to 50. And then Amazon's notorious for beating up albums and or having cut. I'd rather buy from Chad where I know the album won't be sliced.
Dude, guess how much the cassette is in Indonesia? Dude, get this, man. It's $40 but $32 shipping. It's $72.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the original.
And that's you still to get that tape for $7.
Mm-hmm.
Brand new. $9.99 at the most back in the day.
CD, right? The original pressing of the CD is $27.
I have it. I bought it from Walmart years ago. The CD.
Mm-hmm.
I probably paid. Let's see. Back in the day, most Walmart CDs were $15. I probably got it for a few bucks under that.
Wow. The LP from Greece, the original LP, is $128.
Yeah.
From Spain, you're spending $256. $49.40 if you order it from Greece on the CD.
You getting it, Monica, for that price? That's not a bad price, honestly.
No, it ain't bad at all.
$38.71 total. Now, only thing you got to watch with Amazon is you got to inspect when you get it. Make sure the sleeve isn't ripped at the top and all, because Amazon's famous for sending trash like that or letting it get beat up or getting
Yep.
creases. Then you got to
Yeah, but-
send it back. But because I don't like dealing with Amazon, and too many times I got shit that. But I mean, if you can get it, and you live probably right by a plant, I mean, up there where y'all live, y'all probably you probably almost next door to where it's being stored.
Yeah, for real.
She
Oh,
says,
look
"I
at
just
this.
bought it." Way to go, Monica. There you go.
Japanese pressing of
I don't
Pieces of
blame you.
Scary.
That's a great album. That album and Melancholy are the two best.
I agree. But yeah, dude, I'm just looking at different things. The CD is going for stupid prices, except for there's one that's used for $10, which ain't
Yeah.
bad.
The other thing, Monica, is if you look on your Amazon Music app on your phone, you might get the deal where since you just bought it, you might have the whole thing for free on your Amazon Music to download to your phone to listen to for the car. You might have got that with it. So a lot of times that'll happen with Amazon. You get the free download, the digital download when you buy the LP.
Oh wow, dude! Listen to this. U.S. Press '94 cover still in shrink with original hype sticker. Includes the lyrics inner sleeve. Amazing EX condition plus EX Plus condition from Germany. $217.53, and this is
And
the
then
original
it's
press.
EX. It's not even mint minus. It's
No,
EX.
no. It's mint. It's near
Oh.
mint, and it comes from Germany. Yeah, for $217.
Yeah,
That's the
Monica.
original. That's the original.
When you buy, not every vinyl, but if you look, it's written under them on Amazon. The Amazon Music app is free. When you buy certain LPs, you get for life. You get the entire album digitally to listen to in the car, and usually it'll say it with purchase of the vinyl or with not, or it won't say it if you don't. But yeah, you might have a bunch of them that you can go into Amazon Music and download if you. That's how you buy albums. You might be able to get them all to your phone for on the go.
Yep.
Because I have Rush albums that I got like that. I have bunch of stoner stuff that they're just on my phone on Amazon Music for free. Because I bought the LPs.
Yeah, but they classify that as a compilation album. That's crazy.
It really is. I'm trying not to buy too many things because it's all gonna end up at the thrift store when I grow up.
Do you remember the Airplane Files? The Airplane Files, huh? It was a box set back in the day. Came out in '96.
That was Smashing Pumpkins?
Yeah.
The Airplane Files.
It was a black and white box, and it had a big swirly, like a white zombie swirl, like Thunderkid 65 swirl all over it.
I'm trying to remember if I remember some of that.
With 5 CDs, it was a box set.
Well, Monica, you could always leave stuff to either Josh or family. That's valuable.
Yeah. And get this, dude. Not even new. Used is $549.
Yeah, that's rare stuff. I mean, and then a box set. I'd have to look up that or the airplane. Maybe if I see the cover, it'll remind me. Because I'm trying to remember that. It's called the Airplane Files.
Yeah, the Aeroplane Files, AEROPLANE Files.
All right. Because he had that shirt. Yeah. Smashing Pumpkins, the Airplane Files.
They had a reissue of it, but no, not much.
All right. It's got almost like the Vertigo swirl. I remember that. It's got 45 videos. Let's see what was. Wait, the deluxe has 93 video. Wait. This one's got 21. This one's got 30. Some people probably got some bullshit on here, but let's see.
Yeah.
I don't recognize any of the names of these songs. This must have been. Was this all unreleased shit?
Yeah. Well, they got Bullet with Butterfly Wings, Said Sally, you've all I've got tonight, Clones, A Night Like This, Destination Unknown, Dreaming. Then it has 1979, Ugly, The Boy, Cherry, Believe, Set the Ray to Jerry, Zero, God, Mouths of Babes, Tribute to Johnny, Marquise and Spades, Pennies, Pistachio Medley, Tonight, Melodori Magpie, Rotten Apples, Jupiter's Lament, Medelia of the Gray Skies, Blank Tonight Reprise, 33, the last song, The Airplane Files High, The airplane flies high. The airplane flies high. Turns left. Looks right. Transformer. The bells in my blue heaven.
Somebody took the 21 original tracks that weren't on anything and made just a video of that. That's pretty cool. I might have to listen to this.
Yeah, it's all unreleased shit, dude.
Yeah, the unreleased, all the original songs that were unreleased, there's 21 of them. Somebody made a whole file of them. I'm going to keep that right here. I might listen to that.
Yeah, you can buy it for like $700.
Yeah, no, thank you. Not for that. I own half of the songs already on the deluxe edition.
Yeah. And then there was
don't care what versions they are. I'm not buying that for $700.
There was another one called the Gish and Siamese Dream Deluxe Edition radio sampler. And then let's see, they have a bunch of DVDs and VHS tapes. Zeitgeist was a DVD-R promo. Smashing Pumpkins cassette promo sampler. Jesus Christ, dude. I love the samplers, man. I'm a huge, huge fan of samplers. And then you have a bunch of CD promos from Concert New Rock from Westwood One. And if anybody don't know who Westwood One is, that's owned by ESPN.
I used to listen to Rockline when my local radio station would get them, and you would either get the whole 2 hours, 2.5 hours of one band, or they would split between two acts. And that's how they would premiere albums and let you listen to like a bunch of tracks, and the band would talk to you. That'd be every Saturday night. And I would go listen to that and then decide if I wanted to buy the album. But and that would always be from Westwood One Studios.
Yep. Like right here, they have the Smashing Pumpkins in concert New Rock by themselves at Westwood One. It's a 2 CD promo. You got Nirvana and the Smashing Pumpkins in concert together. The Smashing Pumpkins and Candlebox in concert. Matthew Sweet and the Smashing Pumpkins in concert. And those are all in Westwood One. Then you have in concert from the BBC World Service, BBC Radio International.
Yeah, the BBC sessions, there's a one or two from Pieces of Scared on there. They were so out of date back in the day. They still had like 1973 recording equipment. It sounds so ass from the BBC studio.
Yeah, and then they got another Smashing Pumpkins Nirvana in concert from '96.
Oh, you got into Castle Rat, huh? She puts on a good live show. They just came to Louisiana.
Yeah, and then you got Soul Company, the Smashing Pumpkins in the Zone, Westwood One, REM and Smashing Pumpkins and Sublime, the record special show from January 6, 1997 without Bradley Nowell. And then that was at Westwood Radio Networks and Smashing Pumpkins and Semisonic. And then he had the Billy Corgan interview in February 2000 by himself. Foo Fighters, Smashing Pumpkins in concert. Dude, I'm digging this shit, dude. Digging it. Because these right here are unreleased, untitled fucking actual recordings.
Josh could probably take you to a Castle Rat show and they go y'all's way for very affordable. They're not an expensive band and they play at like local places. Y'all could if they don't go to Indiana, I'm sure y'all could go to Chicago or somewheres around and watch a show for like you could probably watch, I don't know what prices are up there, but down here, they're like a $20, $25 show, if not less.
Oh, Castle Rat?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like a $20.
She's really into them though.
Oh, okay.
Like Josh showed them to her and she's like, I love it. I'm like, yeah, the little girl actually puts on they put on a little show up there and all of that. Mm-hmm. Like she's all, they got like the cheap medieval thing going and they're getting to be kind of popular.
And there's an actual a CD recording of Smashing Pumpkins in Chicago, Illinois at the Auditorium Theater from 2008. That's going for a stupid amount of money.
Well, the rare and, not so convenient shit's always going to go for bigger money.
Jesus, dude.
What year did that Airplane Flies High? Was that
96?
Around the...
That was 96. All
right, so they released that after Jimmy left probably, and they were going to do that stupid Adore album, and they didn't have Jimmy on drums, and that was when, things got fucked up around that time.
Well, that was right after, they released it right after Melancholy and Infinite Sadness.
Yeah, because the year after Melancholy, they would do the song for the Batman movie, and they would win the music video award again, and then Jimmy would be like, I'm out of here. And they would do the Adore thing with the techno, which wasn't that good because they didn't have a real drummer. And then sometime after that, they'd get rid of Darcy, and then James would leave, and then Jimmy would come back. Now Jimmy and James are in the band again,
Mm-hmm.
but no Darcy because of past shit with that, and she's kind of a fuck up today and all of that and on shit. But so they got like another chick or dude to replace her and do backing singing. But yeah, on the album she did not actually play bass. Billy played all her parts on the album. She only played live.
All right, so the notes on the Aeroplane Flies High is contained in a black and white pop art 45 RPM single style retro case. It contains a 44-page illustrated booklet with simplified discography plus 5 CD singles from the Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness selections. Three of these are the extended European versions, 1979 to 1933. Bullet with Butterfly Wings, originally a 2-track single, has 5 additional cover tracks exclusive to this box set. These are the Cars, You're All I've Got Tonight, Alice Cooper's, Clones, We're All, The Cure's, A Night Like This, Missing Persons, Destination Unknown, and Blondie's Dreaming.
I remember them playing "You're All I've Got Tonight" on the radio. I was like, that's not on the door. Where the fuck they? Well, now we know where it came from.
Mm-hmm.
Because they covered that car song. They were playing it on. We had a modern rock station, an alternative station at the time in the late '90s, and they would play stuff like that. So when I wasn't listening to the modern rock and the classic channel, I'd put that channel on, and that's where I would get Nine Inch Nails and Modern Pumpkins and things like bands like that. You know, God Lives Underwater, shit like that would all be on. Would all be on Stabbing Westward. That would all be on that station.
All content manufactured in the U.S. The first issue was limited to 200,000 worldwide, circular stickered, followed by a reissue of 250,000 worldwide, Do It to a Man, Due to the Man, white paper descriptor with barcode.
You should have been on, well, not exactly your favorite act, but you should have been on Coleco earlier. Lords of Acid went for $11.
The album or the CD?
The vinyl.
Which album?
I don't think it was the album. I think it was the song "Take Control" from Lust. I think it was a 12-inch single, so it was that and like another song.
They can keep that because it ain't worth shit.
Believe it or not, $11. I was tempted. I just wish it would have been the whole album. But it is a piece of
Lords of Acid to me, Lust is one of my favorite albums, and Lust is an actual EP. Oh, not EP, but LP.
Yeah, that's the first album.
Yeah, and you said it was the single of Lust?
It was the name of the song "Take Control" from that album. So I figured it was a 12-inch single with either that and some remixes or a couple of other songs with that song. That's what I figured. It was released. It was like a 12-inch single. It was the full size, like an LP. So it was probably a 12-inch single. The cover looked really cool.
They made a single of that. Let me see if they made a single of that.
Well, it went for $11, and I know that it's going to go for more than that.
Question: did it have her in like a weird yellow bra and like hair and weird?
No, it had like it was multicolored with like greenish shit on it.
That's not a single.
What it was?
That's the album.
Damn it! I wish I'd have bought it now. That's the original Lust album. It has like the black
Take
bar.
Control, because it has Lords of Acid in the left hand corner, and right up under it says Take Control. And it's Take Control and Let's Get High on the B side.
All right, so it is a single.
Is that what it was?
It's a 12-inch single. If it's got an A and B side, and just said Let's Get Highs on the B side.
Yeah, but I'm just saying the cover of that artwork though.
Can you show it?
Yeah, I can show it right here.
I almost wanted to get in on it, but I was like, man, it looked like a 12-inch single because I've never seen that as an album. But I was like, if it's on Lust, one day I can just get Lust. But let's see. You're gonna have to zoom in for me.
All right, hold on.
It looks like that's what it was.
It was that one.
That's what sold for $11. No one else even jumped in.
Did anybody buy it?
Yeah, he bought it for $11.
Damn.
It started at like $10, and somebody bid $11, and it went.
Well, I mean, it ain't worth nothing. I mean, you can probably get it for like $13. Yeah, brand new, 13, 14. No, with shipping, $14 with shipping.
All right, but anyway, this was probably a vintage for $11.
Near mint. Pressing information unavailable. $6 US unlimited shipping. Marked with security tape. Mark U, sealed in plastic wrap.
So it's 2 songs. It's a single.
Yep.
All right, so it's Take Control and Let's Get High. Yeah, that's what I figured. It's a 12-inch single.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why I didn't jump on it. If it had been an album, I'd have been more like, yeah,
My favorite album of theirs is Lush. Second is Voodoo You. Voodoo You was amazing. I have it.
yeah,
And then Our Little Secret, of course, that was their biggest album to date. And then Expand Your Head was a bunch of like remixes and shit, new shit. But Far Stucker was another one.
yeah. I remember that. They were on to the second chick ball that time because after the first album, Jade for You left.
Yeah, and that second chick did 4 albums. She did no
Yeah,
5 albums. She
she
did
was
Voodoo
wild.
You.
She was fucking wild.
No, she did 4 albums. She did Voodoo You, Our Little Secret, Expand Your Head, and Far Stucker.
Yeah,
And
because
Far Stucker was
she was wild. She got him banned for so many years from over here because the shit she was doing on stage.
well, dude, she'd show her tits and fuck herself with a microphone.
Oh, bro, she was riding people's faces and fucking herself with. Yeah, I don't know her name. That one.
She was incredible. I love that lady. I would.
Jade for You didn't want got out of the band because she didn't like that she didn't have a bigger role and it was all repetitive shit. She wanted
Mhm.
to do more, and she wasn't wild like that. And then the third chick that replaced her, I'm not sure who that. And then the fourth one was the skinny redhead, and the band didn't even look the same when I saw that. I
No.
saw a live video. They were old and all. Now they got the girl from Butcher Babies filling in.
And dude, she's doing amazing, bro. She's doing amazing. I mean, there ain't that. Dude, they even have the 2 LP of Far Stucker, brand new, out of the box, everything, $125.
That's hot.
Yeah, that's way high.
Didn't that album come out in like the 2000s?
2001, dude.
Yeah, because that was after the 90s. Because Voodoo You and all of that, and my Our Little Secret or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Voodoo You is the one with the chick with a dick in the cover, right? In the Pussy song.
Yeah, no, Our Little Secret's the Pussy song.
All right.
Dude, I
That's the
remember,
one.
dude,
That's the one you open the cover and
I seen him in concert in Atlanta in 2002, 2003.
that was probably when they got allowed back to perform again around that time
And it was Our Little Secret.
in the U.S. Because I think they
And
were banned for 10 years.
yeah, dude, they got brand new albums from Our Little Secret to CD for like $15.
Yeah, it's gonna be common with the CD. The problem is vinyl. That's the
Vinyl's
problem.
$308,
Yeah.
but it's remastered. It ain't the original because they
Wow.
didn't have that shit back in '90s.
Oh, some DJ or somebody would have had that shit to mix and do live. That's what I'm saying. It's the kind of shit it is because fucking what's his name, Prodicon or whatever. It's his band. And he's one of the original techno geniuses from over there from the I don't know if that's Norwegian or Sweden where they were Denmark, wherever they were from, but he's one of the pioneers that was doing shit like Trent kind of followed other people. He wasn't the first, but he's the one that really blew up. But
Yeah,
Prodicon was doing shit like that people hadn't come up with yet, like that people are still doing to this day in techno.
yeah, Prodicon is ahead of his time, dude.
Yeah, way ahead of. I mean, they're all into the sexual shit and all that because of where they're from. But yeah, he was. I mean, in '87, that shit he was doing was. I mean, people wouldn't start doing that until the '90s and then after. And that's just still modern today that they use those sound effects and the loops and the stuff he's doing.
All around the mall, pocket full of drink.
Yeah, my cousin was a big fan of them because of his uncle, and his uncle was into the rave scene in Florida.
Do you know they classify that shit as heavy metal?
Yeah, somebody fucked up. It's not heavy metal at all. That's it. That is industrial techno dance club, whatever you want to go with. You
The
can
album,
combine all
dude,
four of those if you want.
the Voodoo album itself, just the album itself, goes for stupid money because it was like explicit content on the front cover.
Yeah.
Do they have a 2 LP album limited edition reissue remastered special from Czech Republic? Guess how much it is?
From the Czech Republic, what that is, 400 and something.
Way less.
Oh, so the opposite. So, it is $75.
A little over. 88.21. That ain't bad.
And what? That's the whole album of what? Voodoo You?
Yeah.
Yeah, technically, that's if you really want it. It's not that much higher. I mean, we were just talking about these these early 90s new presses are $60.
Dude, here's the original LP album from Caroline Records, mint condition. The sleeve condition is very good, plus still sealed, minor corner dings.
That's why
Yes, it's from the United States.
That's why it's VG Plus. The corners got dinged through the years, but it's
Mhm.
what it is.
$507. Kiss
With,
my nuts.
with ding corners because it's new.
Fuck that. Fuck that.
Which is the kind of shit Amazon pulls on me.
Canada has one like the new, like the reissue for $69. I'd rather have that, dude.
Well, look what I just did with this pumpkins. He wanted 100. He had 4 of them sealed. He marked them down. I said for 75, I'll do that. It's unofficial, but everybody said, oh, somebody was like, I want one just like that. They're like, it sounds just like the real one. I'm like I have both. I'm like, okay, 75. You got a deal.
Well, I found another one, but it's not in mint condition and anything. But it's $200 for the original LP. Original LP. Now there's a center. There's one that has like when you pull the CD apart, it folds up to a big centerfold poster. Those are going for like phenomenal amounts of money because it has the 2 devil ladies on the front cover with their tits hanging out, and it folds up to a big centerfold. I think it goes for like $400 or $500. But me personally, I ain't paying that.
Not to look at it and never play it. I mean, who would be crazy enough to open that?
No. Mm-mm. That's stupid. I found the new remastered, reissued LP, dual LP, new sealed and everything for $60. So I mean, I'm a big fan of Lords of Acid, dude. They're phenomenal, man. But here we are talking about music and shit. And there's another band, like you said, Praga Khan. I have Praga Khan's double album. It was on vinyl.
I mean, he did the Mortal Kombat theme, and they just called it the Immortals because they couldn't use the Lord's Acid name. But the first album of the that's all Praga Khan.
Yeah, and dude, Praga Khan is still making music.
Oh yeah, he ain't stopping.
No, dude, he made an album. I think in 2017 was the last one. Mind Games. Yeah, dude, the first album I bought of theirs was Technoland. And there's another one before that. It has Paracon and Jade for You, A Spoonful of Miracle. I don't have that. I want that.
He's like, I want that.
Because I have Technoland Presente and it's Digital Orgasm featuring Paracon and Jade for You, Do It. I have that. It was only made in France. I got it in back in the day when Blockbuster Music was still around.
Right.
I went in there and they had it in a section in the wall, like I walked in the back, and my friend, she's like, hey, we can't put these out, nobody's buying them, do you want them? Give me $1 per CD you buy. If you buy 100, give me da-da-da. Dude, I had a deal.
Told me that,
bro. I'm talking about I had a deal.
I got a deal right here. I got my box of Cheerios to smash on,
bro. I'm telling you, I made a big ass fucking money. I wish I still had half of the shit I had, because I had like, there was another band called Thumb, a band, they're from Germany. I had all this shit was like released over in Europe, and I would get first dibs on all that shit.
Yeah, I got a band you might remember from that period you like to listen to. You remember?
Not the Guano Bats. I threw that shit in the trash.
No, not that. But they used to be called Hinge, then they turned into Dry Kill Logic. You probably know.
I know Dry Kill Logic is. They were a good band.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, and people don't understand, like, oh, dude, I can get this? Get the fuck out of here. I ain't paying that for it. Oh, no, I might pay $30 for it. No, that's $18. That's from America? Get the fuck out of here.
This dude's tripping on Discogs.
Well, I mean, think about it, dude. This shit never was existing in America.
Mm-hmm.
But you could get it in America. But like I said, I got all these shits, dude, like from here. Dude, there's another one, brand new, near mint. It's $10, and it's the Do album from fucking Praga Khan. That is crazy, dude. But that's not the right version. That's not the right version I'm looking at. That's not it. There's the one I'm looking at right there. It's Digital Orgasm featuring Praga Khan and Jade for You. And it's the whole fucking album, dude. It has Time to Believe, Running Out of Time, Keep on Flying, Star Touchers, Mission to Be Free, Guilty of Love, Another World, Switch the Mood, Reality, Forever and a Day, and Magic. And that shit was released only in France. Get the fuck out of here. I still want that album.
Starting to see why this album was they never released this on an album. The Smashing Pumpkins is kind of lacking.
Oh yeah, dude, it's lacking a lot, bro. It's not that great.
A lot of quiet shit.
Yeah, and Pragmatic, I got that too. I got Pragmatic on CD, and they got it on vinyl. Get the fuck out of here. How much is the vinyl? I want to know that. It's like, I don't know. Album. I still got the album. These are all CDs. I don't see no vinyl on this bitch. Are they? Oh, fuck balls, Batman.
Fuck balls, Batman.
Huh. Okay. Pragmatic 3 LP album back in the day from 1996. $250 Netherlands money plus $55 shipping on $55 euros, about $358. The right corner has been pressed and the edge is slightly worn, but the vinyl has never been played and it's 100% new. Get the fuck out of here, dude. The rest of it's just CDs. That's the only vinyl. That is ridiculous. All right, I'm done looking at that. I can't believe we still have 5 viewers, man.
I don't know if they're still watching.
I think they just left us on red.
Yeah. Oh, it's still live.
Yeah. Holy shit, we're still live. I know.
I thought you had turned it off.
No, dude. I mean, hell, we got Monica still watching this, talking about I Love It in Spirit Box and Hellstorm. Dude, she's here with us. She's here for it, bro. She's here for it. So, yeah, man, I guess we still have 5 viewers. Holy shit, dude.
I wondered that this stays, because I had turned mine off to do this music, because I would have been counted as a viewer, because my TV was running the stream so I could see everything large after. Yeah, we know you're there, Monica.
Yeah, we know you're there.
We're your nightly entertainment.
People hit it, dude. Dude, we already got 5 thumbs up, too. Holy shit, dude.
Yeah, that's how you do that, bro. Help the algorithm out and get us going.
4 watching now. Holy shit. Okay. Thank you. Thank you all for tuning in and hanging out with us while we sit here and talk crazy shit.
Yeah. I'll
allow it. This is crazy, Jordan. Oh shit, who's coming in? Oh, you came back.
Yeah, I took myself out by accident.
Told you the curse.
I'll turn my lights off and grab my phone in my hand and all of that. I'm like, show's over. Nope, it ain't over yet. We didn't even do the goodbye yet.
No, we hadn't done anything, dude. I can't believe that, bro. He's like, yeah. So, yeah, dude, this is crazy, bro. I told you that the stream was cursed tonight, Jordan.
Love that Danhausen.
Love that Danhausen. All right, man. So let's go ahead and get out of here. It's 12:30. We got to do a show tomorrow night, too.
That we do. If everybody watching, if anybody's still awake and they just don't have us on run, the New Japan Cup starts on the 4th, which is day after tomorrow, or day after today, I guess I should say. We have the brackets and all 24 competitors. We are gonna do our picks. We're gonna see if we can figure out who's gonna win this thing, because it's gonna be about a month of New Japan action. The winner of the cup gets a world title shot at Tsuji.
Yeah, and on top of that, ladies and gentlemen, we have very nice, very evil. Yes, Danhausen. Josh is in the hospital, so please send your best wishes and get well soon to Josh.
Yeah.
Hopefully he'll be out of there tomorrow.
Hopefully we can get him down here to Louisiana for the TNA Sacrifice pay-per-view that he already bought a ticket for, and he can join us. Yes,
because we would love to see the guy. Very, very, very good, very evil.
Yeah. Right now he is very sick, very in hospital bed, but we don't want that.
No, we don't. We want him back at home, man. We want him back at home, rested and good to go. Love that guy. Miss that guy. Monica, take care of our boy. We love you, man. And oh yeah, by the way, if you're not watching Ringside Rants,
Yeah.
and we're not just food to eat, man. We're also
Or Cheerios for my belly.
oh come on, man. This is Josh's line, bro.
Mike hates when I fuck it up, and I enjoy it. But yeah, they're food for your ears. But always remember, just like these Cheerios, what's mine is mine, but yours is mine too.
Ladies and gentlemen, very sick, very cough. Yeah.
Yeah.
We love you. Thank you, Monica, for tuning in and hanging out with us tonight. We do appreciate you very, very much. And everybody else that's been in the stream, we appreciate every last comment. We appreciate everything you do. We had 8 people in here tonight, which is fucking wild. So thank you all. Really, really, really. Yeah, please do. Please do. And thank you all for what you do for us and show love. And by the way, go to w.gg and get yourself some energy drinks or some electrolytes in your body. You need it. We love you all. Stay